Hey, how is everybody doing this evening? Sorry, as always, just coming in last second to greet you all. But nice to see everybody in the chat as always. I could run through everybody's names, but you guys know who you are. You've been talking it up before I got in here. But nice to see everybody as always. So hopefully tonight we don't have any issues like we saw in last night's Dueling Dealers episode. That was pretty weird. I actually had a long chat with tech support from YouTube, and of course they said nothing's wrong on their end. So the timeouts that many experienced are still perplexing, but hopefully they won't happen again. I did go through, and maybe at some point in the last week I monkeyed around with some of the settings that are in YouTube. They had this, I don't even remember what it was called. They had this setting called community guidelines. And I thought it was just something generic, like, if it's a person who's new to the chat, you can set up a thing that says, be civil with one another or whatnot. And so I thought it was just like little things that YouTube would maybe prompt a new person in the chat. But I was reading through it, and it's listed as all experimental stuff. So I had this weird feeling that that YouTube was at fault, although they did not admit it. So hopefully it doesn't happen again. But it made for an interesting show watching so many people get blocked. Like I know Vrishler was blocked for a little while, and then Jeff Moy was blocked for a very long while. It was a mess. But let's see. Bill sells chips and grows beard to play Obi Bill Kenobi. It's Obi Bill Kenobi. Yes. Yeah, this isn't. I'm not too fond of this. I'll be perfectly honest. We'll see how long. I'm going to keep it through next week's show, May the 4th show, just to stay in character. And you never know if I have to film bits to fill in for anything before we get to that episode. So I've got to keep the beard until after Wednesday. But yeah, we'll see. Maureen hasn't said whether she likes it or not, so I'm not too fond of it. But at any rate, so I do apologize to everybody who had a headache last night. But it still was a good show. I mean, I think we had around 36,000 in sales. It was one of our better ones of late. And Chris Snork says, "Let it ride." I don't know. We'll see. It's pretty gray these days, but but last night was fun, and we actually had a it was a decent sales night, like I mentioned. We had a fun chat afterwards in the green room, just going over some stuff to finalize next Wednesday's show. But so the week that was, at least here on Comic Art Live, everybody knows we had that great sales show with David Bixler and Mr. Wingo on Monday. That was very fun. I know the big question out there was whether or not the person who claimed the $45,000 artwork actually did claim it, and apparently they managed to butt dial it perfectly, but they claimed that they didn't, so it was accidental, and they weren't watching the show. That's what they told Scott. So things happen. I mean, that would have been a pretty amazing thing to have happened to sell a piece of artwork at that level during a live stream. I really felt like most of that stuff, if any of them were going to sell, we're going to be after it. So I was just happy to have any of those bonus pieces that Scott brought to the program actually sell it all. So it was it was good. Mr. Rejek says about the beard, when she says nothing, that means she doesn't like it. So yeah, that's probably true. But yeah, as Marcus says, yeah, 45K, would have been a major purchase if it would have went down. But hey, anyway, it was worth the experiment, and it actually did pretty good to have some bonus rounds in there with pieces that really didn't fit in with a dueling dealer or amateur dueling dealer competition. I know, Ruben. Well, that's it's a perplexing question, but hey, I mean, stranger things have happened. We watched it happen last night. Strange things. So I don't. What am I going to say? At the end of the day, it was still made for a good show. It was a bit shocking when that popped up. I'm sure all of you kind of had your jaws drop as well as I did. I had to keep my cool when I saw that. I thought, wow, that's a nice sale for our show. But anyway, no big deal at all. But again, if anybody gets locked into a timeout again, like happened last night, please let me know. Whether if you got my phone number, you can text me, but at least go over to Facebook and ping us that way. Hopefully, whatever I changed in the YouTube settings fixed those problems, and we'll never run into that again. But yeah, that was not fun at all. But of course, I had Josh Raybuck on Tuesday, and he kind of guilted me into going to the Cleveland Comic Con this weekend. the Fan Expo, I should say, not Comic-Con, but Fan Expo Cleveland. So I am going to go there on Saturday. So I don't know if many of you are also in the Cleveland area and we're going to that show, but if you are, I'll be there from, I don't know, probably like 2 to 7. I figure I'll go there in the afternoon, avoid the early rush, and just kind of hang out and talk to some people. Matt says we should always be drinking during Dueling Dealers. Yeah, we probably should. Man, I think I've got my screen fonts too small. I can barely read the chat tonight. But Chris says his super chat worked just now. Well, that's good. I don't know what was going on last night, guys. I really, really don't. And because Gwen in the studio actually had problems as well with the chat, because she keeps YouTube open in one window and the studio in the other. And she said that she was having issues with the YouTube windows as well. But their support said nothing at all was wrong last evening. I even put a post on their forums and nobody replied to it. So it seems as if we were the only ones experiencing it. Hey, be careful, Jeff. You know what happened last night. But at any rate, so it was a very fun week. I really liked having Scott and David Bixler on Monday. We had a good time, and their memes were a lot of fun. So that was always good. But we should probably, I'm going to go over the schedule first to get the show going tonight, just because I've had some changes in the schedule and I wanted to go over a few things with everybody. Yeah, Mr. Easy Go Lucky, honestly, I was thinking something did get hacked, as weird as that could have been, because the Botissimo, the bot thing that follows the chat and kind of does things automatically for us, has permission to do things. And so that was actually the first place I went, because it has has content filtering in it, so you can like filter out. It can do things like filtering out bad words and things of that nature. So I started there and it didn't do anything. So it kind of has a log of anything that it might do. So it didn't do it. Like Scott Wingo's just testing out the rank system from Botissimo. If it's awake at the moment, it should be, but it's not spit out an answer yet. But at any rate, who knows? But thinking I was hacked was probably one of my first ones. And every time I see that from Marcus, I really think I have to block him, but I'm not going to do it. But at any rate, yes, we have been the subject of a lot of I don't know, spammy posts lately. It is what it is. So schedule wise, a couple changes that have come up just recently. Let me I'll go on the sales side of the world first. So we're still doing the next Comic Art Star Wars show next week. And I know I've always said it was just Harvey that was joining us, but we are going to also have Robbie and Moore will be joining us as well. So it'll be Jiggy and Harvey and Robbie and myself. And, we'll be talking with both of them as we usually do with those, as interviews, showing off some of their art, but we'll be selling some art as well. Star Wars related stuff, of course, even though it's May the 2nd. Obviously on the 4th, we've got the Star Wars show. So that's one change that's going on. The big change is obviously you can see Linsner is not listed for the 30th anymore, this upcoming Saturday. He had a few issues come up, and so we have had to delay the Joe Linsner show all the way to June 12th because my schedule's packed. And I mean, I think he wanted to go a week or two from now, but it just doesn't fit into my schedule. So we're pushing the Linsner show back to the 12th. I did update the slide and whatnot, and I can show you that here, just to remind everybody. I said, send me one piece of art that you're going to be selling in this thing. So that's the artwork that's on the left. So I finally got that image from him today. So I'm guessing that we're going to be cover heavy when we get to the Linsner show on the 12th. So expect a lot of probably similar to what we had the last time with Joe. And that's just a lot of really hot artwork, mostly covers. And they're all priced around $2,000 to $3,000 or $1,500 to $3,000 by and large. So plan for that one. And that's going to be on the 12th of June. Changes on the Dueling Dealers side. We have a regular show for the price-wise for the 4th, but we also have on the 11th, we decided to switch that to $1,000 and under show. And that week as well, we have Kat and Sharon on a Saturday show at 2 p.m. going at it again as an amateur event. And then the following week on the 18th on the Dueling Dealers, I've had a few people wanting us to do a higher end show, so that's what we're going to do on the 18th. Everything's going to be $2,000 and up. As far as I've seen so far for Mike, pricing wise, I think he's doing rounds 1 through 5. Well, it's probably 1 through 4 around, I think around 2,000, and then anything after that, like round 5 and up, it'll be over 3,000. So who knows how many pieces are going to have. That's very reliant on what Anthony can bring. So it might just be one piece per 15 rounds, a lot like we did the show with Scott and David the other day. So we'll see. And then as you can see, I'm actually was contacted by Michael Finn, and he wanted to do a little collector art sale. And I said, sure. So on the 30th of May, that's a Monday, so at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'll have Mike on, and he hasn't really told me exactly what he's going to bring. I think a lot of sketches and published stuff, primarily, but more on the sketch side, I believe. So he's got a lot of art. He wanted to sell it, and he wanted to do it through the channel. And I said, hey, I'll try anything. It sounds like fun. And Howard Chaykin, he's been on the show before for sales as well. We're doing it, Howard on Saturday and Joe Linsner on Sunday on that weekend. So I figured the fans of either aren't going to commingle too much. So having them back to back on a Saturday and a Sunday isn't a bad thing. And then Dennis Cowan will be back. Cowan will be back on the 30th of July. So yeah, that'll be fun to have him back. And I was actually going to ask him to do a couple things differently next time, so that might make for an interesting show. So let me see here. What else was I going to give you on that? Oh, everybody probably saw the image I showed the other night, but there you go. Look at that. Don't we look great? That is actually a pair of cupcakes on Sharon there. We called her Princess Cupcakes. So that was her costume. She looks fantastic. And of course, Anthony is actually wearing a wig. If you couldn't tell, he didn't use Rogaine to get that thing going like that. But yep, should be a fun thing going on that night on the 4th. But anyway, we're just trying to keep it fun here on the channel, as everybody knows. And yeah, Dennis, not Leonard Cowan, says Jeff Wedding. Not screen accurate costumes. I know, Ron. I mean, we did what we could do. I mean, how bad were they? Yeah, they weren't that good. Hey, you're going to get a laugh out of it, no matter what. I promise. The story is very good. We're having a lot of fun with it, and we're even doing some rewrites here and there to make it even more comical and fun for everybody. But yeah, hey, that's right, Ron. I forgot about that. As a member of Rebel Legion and the 501, first I object. I get it. Hey. So let me see. What else did I have for you? I thought a lot of other stuff. Oh yeah, the chat. Well, let me show you the chat schedule, because that has been updated as well. Few changes on there. Let's see. What do we got here? Now, first up, Larry is on the. Well, am I skipping around here? Oh yeah. Why am I skipping around? Because I originally had Joe and Nadia on next Tuesday, and they are in the midst of a move, and so we pushed their show all the way to the 14th of June. And that kind of coincides with a hot preview, of course. So that week is the next signature auction. So I'll do an hour interview with Joe and Nadia, and then probably an hour heritage preview or something along those lines. We'll see. But I did not have a show scheduled for Monday next week. So that, I do have a schedule. Sorry. The next comic art sale is on Monday. So now I've got nothing on Tuesday, and I'm going to take that night off so I can have the night to finish up any of the editing that I need to do for the May the 4th show. I thought about rescheduling and bringing in one of the people from the list that I've got to add into the chat, but I decided today that I'm just going to play it safe, spend more time editing the videos to make the show even better. But yes, so after that week, the thing is, I am going to be going down to Florida. And we're pretty confident I will be leaving on the 9th. That's a Monday, and getting there on, no, that's a Sunday, isn't it? I'll be getting there. I'll be leaving. Well, see, now I'm not even sure when the heck I'm leaving. I think I'm leaving. Let me look at the calendar here. I think I'm leaving on the 9th. So maybe I've got some things wrong on the schedule. What do I know? That's true. Okay, I'm leaving on the 9th. I'm getting there on the 10th. So I will be in Florida for that time period. And what's going to happen is Larry is going to interview both Mickey and Malvin on that evening and do kind of follow-up interviews with those guys, since we interviewed them a long time ago. Mickey was the first person I ever did an interview with, and he'll do these follow-up interviews with them to talk about how things have changed for them since we last saw them in an interview. Let's see. I'll address some questions here. Shaggy asked if there's any plans to do another visit to Berkey's house, check out crazy piles of art. Yeah. Oh yeah, there will be something, but not before this first trip to Florida. I'm not moving. It's not a permanent move, just so everybody knows. This is like a first phase. We're probably going to end up doing this 3 times, driving stuff down to Florida, because it's just taking too long to get things done around here, and we're just not trying to rush it. But when I get to Florida on the 10th, I will be interviewing Frank Lanza that night. So that'll be fun. And I have Tatiana for a live stream at Lake Como, where I hope to at least get to meet a few other of the exhibitors there, including Annabelle Kirby. I've told her that I expect to have her on camera. So one way or another, we'll get Annabelle on. It'll be nice to meet her. And then Larry's going to host a Comic Art Live preview the following Monday on the 16th. Larry put together a slide for me as well that, this is just for everybody. We want to have as many sellers that are planning on exhibiting at Comic Art Live, May 21st and 22nd. We want to give you a little bit of time to promote your booth, and up to 5 items that you might be bringing with you. You can give ideas on pricing. Clearly, it's 5 days before the show starts, so maybe you're not all firmed up on all those sorts of things. But the note that he mentions is all shown art must have a price when the booth opens on Saturday and Sunday. And it says we are discouraging sales of any kind before, of any of the art shown before the show. But yes, we would expect that no one will. People may ask about it, but do not sell it until the show opens. That's at the end of the day, we know that because of the premium member access being early and all that, we want the premium members first chance at being able to buy the artwork. So if you're interested in being a part of the show, and I know Larry's got a few people already lined up for it, you can either email me and I'll put you in touch with Larry, or you can get in touch with Larry through his CAF. So, yep, that's yeah. All right. I see the other questions there. Might as well. Ruben saying 3 trips. What are you guys doing? Packing up the car to get everything moved? No, we have, I got 3 kids. That's more the problem, I think. But, and 20, I've been in this house for over 20 years. So we've got a lot of stuff to go through, and it's just going to take that long. And I'm not driving a big U-Haul this first time. It's only going to be a 15-footer. So it's not going to be a lot I'm moving beds, dressers, and a few tables. That's it. This first move, and a few odds and ends here or there, whatever can fill out the U-Haul. But after that, the plan is I'm going to be down there until about the 30th. Let me get the little schedule back up here for everybody, because that we have the week after Larry does that. I've pretty much, there will be a Dueling Dealers show, but there won't be a Tuesday show that week, and I will do a CAF update. After that, scheduling wise, I got Jason Sean Alexander on the Monday night after Comic Art Live, my good friend Stephen DeVich on Tuesday, Jim of Food the next week on Tuesday, Prop Store with Chuck, and then the Joe and Nadia thing. So yeah, am I crazy for doing an interview on that night? Sure. But I think, the night we get down to Florida, but I think that's going to be fine. At the end of the day, we're going to get in at like 2 or 3 o'clock. So enough time to unload the U-Haul and plug everything in and do a chat. Let's see. Yeah, have an estate sale. That's true. At any rate, it's I never do anything normal, as we all should probably know by now. But it's all right. We're gonna get it done. But the thing is, I'm gonna be down in Florida probably through the 27th. So I'm gonna be in Florida during Comic Art Live, which will be interesting since I've never, it's a big weekend for us, and to be doing it in a new home and everything. We'll see how it goes. But the big thing for me when I'm down there is I will be doing a panel, and I've firmed all of that up now at Megacon. The Friday before Comic Art Live, Mike Berkey, myself, and Ken Carson will be doing a panel on Friday morning at Megacon. So, we haven't finalized all the details. It'll probably be more based on I'm going to ask some questions of people who are in attendance before we get the thing started. But we'll be talking about the hobby, and whether if it's a very experienced group of art collectors in the room, it's probably going to go one way, and if it's a lot of newer collectors, we'll probably keep it general. But we just wanted to talk a bit about where the hobby's at, just some things to think about when you're getting into buying comic art. Try to bring new collectors along. Hopefully it'll be an audience of more people who are just more curious than anything else, but we'll see. And but I can only hang out at the show probably until like 3 or 4, just because of all the things going on with Comic Art Live. So if you're going to be at Megacon and you want to say hi, I'd probably tell you to go to the panel, because after the panel, I think I'm going to do a little bit of running around and just talking to some people that are going to be there and whatnot. So I don't know if I'll have a lot of time to chat from that moment on, but the panel would be the time to come by and say, hey. Matt wanted to know if Berkey is doing Heroes. He's actually just coming down to do the panel and hang out with me. So he's coming down, I think, on Wednesday. And we were just gonna, he wanted to see the house that I bought, and he just wanted to take a couple of days off. So he's coming down for that. And he's really just coming out to hang out and do the panel. And I asked him to do it. I said it would be good to have a dealer, a rep, and me as part of this panel. And so he agreed to be, the dealer side of the conversation. Will it be live streamed? No, but Colin's asking that. But we will. My daughter's going to be with me, Gwen. So I will probably have her film it, and we'll, I'll probably end up posting it after the show is over, because, after that weekend. I know I'm going to be busy the whole weekend, but I'll try to get something posted and online by Monday. But just trying to. This is kind of where I want to be now that I'm getting out of Ohio. I want to spend more time in front of people as often as I can, not just on these live streams, but I would like to get out to more shows. So Megacon's a good first place to do it. I have talked to Heroes about potentially doing a panel there as well, but we haven't finalized anything. I really need to call them tomorrow and talk to them a bit about it. But yeah, that's my goal, is that. Doing more of that, and also, like we've talked about, potentially doing some kind of our own show in Orlando to coincide with CAF's anniversary this upcoming February 1st, and then ongoing after that. So I have, so yes, I have big plans. Sam Maroney wants to know if Berkey will be at Heroes. I was going to ask him to go, because I'm going to be driving to that from Ohio, but I believe Mike is actually busy that weekend. So I haven't confirmed that with him yet, but I'll ask him just to make sure. But I swear he told me something that was going on that weekend for him, but I'll find out. So no, I don't think he's going to be there. I thought that would have been fun, because Anthony's going to be there at the show. And I was thinking, it'd be cool. We could just print out some stuff to sign and have the three of us sign it, do something in Anthony's booth. But yeah, I'm almost confident that Mike is not going to be there, unfortunately. Let's see. And Sean says he's got high hopes for the Saturday auction this year. I think it's going to be great, to be honest. I mean, everything that the couple emails that I have had with Heroes, everything sounds pretty cool. Do a show at Heroes. We're going to do some kind of, the CAF update's going to happen at the get together on Thursday. I know I'm not showing any of the upcoming slides, but I can pull this up so everybody remembers when Heroes is. It's June 24th through the 26th, but we are having a big comic art get together on Thursday night, June 23rd. The location and start time has not been nailed down yet, but George Hodge told me that for certain we will have a date by mid-May, and location, not a date, I'm sorry, a location and time and more pertinent details will be ironed out by the middle of May. So hopefully in 2 weeks, we'll have some better information for you on that, on where it's going to be and whatnot. But that's Thursday night, and that will be the 100th CAF update, honestly, because we're on number 92 now, and Heroes is 8 weeks away. So that will be an interesting one. But we'll be live streaming that. I don't know how long I'll want to stay on for that, because it might be loud and we won't be able to really accomplish a lot for the people who aren't there with us. But that is the plan, that I will do some form of live stream there. And if I do a panel there, we'll record it too. And my intention while I am there is to bring some recording equipment of my own and do some interviews while I'm there. I want to try to get just as many of the comic collectors and comic artists, just get some 5-minute interviews with people. And so I want to have a lot of material after that show to use for the next CAF update, and I'll probably have so much material I'll be able to do that for a couple shows after that. So that is my plan with Heroes. I wish I had more time at at Megacon, but that's not going to happen. Brett wants to know if anyone will be in diapers. Well, nobody's asked Anthony or given Anthony $1,000 to wear a diaper at Megacon, and it's probably the best for all of us that he doesn't. But let's see. Murdoch says he's 6 hours away. Might have to consider it. So you go to Heroes. Yeah, you should, Murdoch, if you can. We'd all love to meet you in person. And it's going to be, we've talked about it. This is going to be the ultimate hangout. Heroes is already one of the better shows for art collectors. They've got the drink and draw every Friday night at the hotel, and then the art auction on Saturday. And I believe, don't they always have like leftover artwork too that Shelton ends up selling on the floor somehow on Sunday? Maybe I'm a little mistaken on that, but I seem to remember him doing that in the past. So yeah, it will be interesting. What do we got there? I can't believe it's yeah, that is funny, Marcus. I know. I wish I were going to San Diego. I'm not going to San Diego, unfortunately, so I don't get to see Anthony in a diaper. But I do hope that anybody that does see Anthony in that diaper records it for me, so that we can get that on the CAF update and immortalize him wearing that, because that's just going to be, well, I'm sure, I guarantee that Mike will probably take lots and lots and lots of photos of him and video clips. Yeah, Mikhail, order a t-shirt. I don't have your, I should pull up your CAF gallery. I know you've got that thing going on over there. Maybe I'll do that one a little bit later when I have a moment. But yeah, so lots of fun things planned, and I hope even more collectors end up showing up. I know that Heroes has been adding to their guest list over the last day or two. I believe who was the list? I think a lot of Jason's guys had just got added to the list. Daniel Warren Johnson, right, was added to the list. So the Hero Show is definitely shaping up to be a really, really great opportunity for collectors, not just to hang out, but to buy artwork. So I am looking forward to it. Can't wait to get to hang out. Marcus says no pasties means he's going commando. Goodness gracious. Yes, Daniel Warren Johnson. Yes, as Chris said, guest list exploded this week. Yeah, I think they added like 35 new guests to their list, and you figure they're probably not done. So that show's just getting better and better. So I'm ready. It's going to be good. But let me think. If I got anything else I'm forgetting here as far as the Heroes thing goes. Anyway, I hope to have more details for you about the outing that we've got going on that Thursday night. But so if you can get in a day early, I would encourage you to do that, because it will be fun. And I was actually talking with Scott Kress, because he's going to be at the show as well, set up. I think he'll be hanging out with Ron Friends, but I invited them. I told him, if he's in town and Ron's there, we'd love to have him come over to whatever the get together is. And he said he would think about it. So, if we can get a few artists over at the party as well, that would make it even more fun, right? I mean, it'll be a little bit more intimate, I guess, but it'll be a very interesting outing nonetheless. And I'm sure Anthony has already said that he'll probably pop his head in. So, and he will not be, he'll be fully clothed, I promise. So other shows, what do we got on here? Really nothing other. I mean, I could talk, we got Lake Como the weekend before Comic Art Live, and that kind of puts a damper on our guest list when we want to talk about panels and whatnot for Comic Art Live. Not really sure how I'm going to handle that. When I talked with Morgan, of course, he's very, I think he's pretty set on that weekend as being what the weekend that they're going to be doing Comos going forward. So if he's got the second weekend in May, and we've got the third, and then, but we're up against MegaCon. Fourth weekend is Memorial Weekend, so obviously I'm not going to move to that. So I'm just going to kind of see how this show goes, see how November goes, and then kind of figure out if we end up needing to make some kind of a change or shift in the way we schedule these. The way I look at it, if the panels aren't we aren't able to get as many creators on the panels, then the panels have never really been the major focus of our show. So it's all about art buying and selling. So as long as we have the collectors turning out for setting up booths and buying art, then I think I'm just going to stick with the weekend that we're going. Let's see. Chris wanted to know if if anyone is going to Como that's in the chat. So yeah, if anybody's going, let Chris know. I would have to believe some of you guys are. Let's see. And Sean just said that they announced early New York Comic Con tickets go on sale next week. Well, I do hope to be going to New York Comic Con this year. I haven't committed to it yet, but more than likely I'll go. I know. I mean, Berkey goes to that show every year. I think he's actually setting up with Anthony, so that might be an opportunity to do some kind of something there. I mean, I guess I could talk with a few of the people at Reed Pop. Maybe we could work out some kind of a panel sales show experience after hours. I don't know. You never know. I'll see what I can work up with those guys if I can make that show. Brad says he's looking to share gas money to Como. Yeah, that's a lot of gas money. All right, so what else I got here? Other than that, really nothing. I mean, that's it on the schedule. I don't think I missed anything on there. I am going to, over this next week, be reaching out to a bunch of people about my chat schedule in June. And I'd like to kind of start ironing that out before I leave for Florida, so I know whom I'll be talking with. And again, I've got at least a dozen people who have inquired, or I've gotten the thumbs up that they want to do it. So it shouldn't be too hard for me to fill up pretty much all of June and all of July in a week's time. So there you have that. But all right, what do we got left here? We got, on a sad note, artist Larry Bama has passed away. And, Ruben, I think I saw Ruben in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still here, but I should have had Ruben come on. Ruben is more familiar with Bama's artwork than I am. I mean, I grabbed some slides and whatnot to show, but James Bama was he was a really prolific Western artist, but he's probably for us, we wouldn't really remember him by his Doc Savage paintings and covers on paperbacks. I mean, he was a prolific painter. And, at the end of the day, let's see, I think a lot of artists were influenced by his painting style. And I was just when I was looking through the images of James's work, I mean, you get to see his choice of color and his palette is just crazy. But, and I was reading some quotes from Alex Ross about James Bama's work. And, he talked about how, Norman Rockwell is more of a major influence on him. But when he thinks of lighting and his approach to the way he uses color, he thinks that he sees James Bama as being more of a major influence on his approach to coloring. So, and also, I wanted to pull this one up here too, because the Aurora model creatures, if you're familiar with those, I never got to have one. That was just before my time, but he did all the paintings for those as well. So Bama was again a super prolific guy. There was a book published by John Flesk, I think, when it was around 06 or 07, and just a kind of a retrospective of his work. Today would have been Bama's birthday, actually, believe it or not. He died 4 days before his birthday on Monday, but he would have been 96 today. So long career and an incredible talent. I know Joe Jusko had a lot of nice things to say about him on Facebook as well. So yeah, another major artistic talent that has been lost to the hobby, unfortunately. So yeah, Brett says Bama was the bomb. And Ruben, I'm sorry, it was literally right before the show. I thought I should have Ruben on and we could talk about him. But yes, Doc Savage is what people most known for, but he was far more prolific than just that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think he had like 3 or 4 books of his Western art compiled. I mean, he's pretty, he had a long career. And Famous Monsters paintings too. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And Mr. Red Jack, Brian Norton, had all the models. So, but next time, Ruben, hopefully the next time, there won't be a next time, but I did think about it because, as everybody knows or doesn't know, I mean, Ruben he's a big paperback art collector, book cover aficionado. And I knew that Bama's work is very familiar to Ruben. I mean, and again, it just didn't really occur to me until I was pulling the slides together that I should have thought of that. But yeah, those Native American books are pretty amazing. I mean, he had some really interesting things to say about the people whose characterizations he did in his paintings. He really felt like he was capturing, a part of American history that is certainly being lost And so, yeah, I would encourage anybody to do a few Googles on James Bama and kind of just look him up, look at his artwork. And yeah, an amazing talent, and definitely influential on a lot of modern painters. So, oh yeah, there you go. Christopher Daly says Cassidy certainly borrowed from him on Planetary. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, very painterly style. It's not human to paint that good. T. Gleason said it's true. I mean, he really was amazing. And again, I think his choice. What did they call it? They called it like butterfly lighting technique in the painting. I mean, it was something about the approach to the monochromatic style. I don't know. At any rate, you saw those paintings. He would just kind of go in with one color palette choice and then just make this amazing painting out of it. So pretty crazy. And I think he was in World War II. I mean, so he had a pretty interesting career and life. And again, another loss to all of us. But of significance last weekend, and you know what? It's funny. One of the bigger comic art events of the year, and I don't really have much to show for it, and that was the Comic Art Con last weekend. But Anthony sent me a bunch of pictures, so I didn't make a video out of it, but I made some slides here. Of course, he took a picture from behind his booth. I see. Who do I see in there? I see Jason and Larry in the background. I don't really recognize anybody else in this particular picture, but as always, Comic Art Con I heard it had a really good turnout. I know Anthony did really well sales at the show, and so he was pretty darn happy. And from everything I heard, everybody who went had pretty decent sales. Hey, look, there's another picture of Jason, and he's wearing a Dueling Dealers shirt. And there's Larry behind him, scoping out the art. They're probably getting a deal done right there as we see it. So thank you, Jason, for hanging out with the Dueling Dealers shirt. I do appreciate that. And Larry will be running the show here a couple times in the next few weeks as well. So nice to see him in that photograph. And what do we got here? A couple other pics, hallway shot here. I can see, let's see, Will Gabrielle with his Dealmaker shirt on over there on the left-hand corner. And I think that might be Gary Land's back with the green shirt right in front of us. And I see Hans over there at his table with the baseball cap on, sitting down. I don't see who else is in there. Is that Mickey? I can't tell. They have the blue mask on, maybe. What else we got here? Okay, there's Hans at the table. Lots of great artwork. I'm jealous of you guys getting to go there. No one with a ponytail, says Marcus. No, there was not. But yeah, Hans always brings good stuff. And hey, it's a Donnelly. It looks like he's just got done working out at the gym. But that is Rich Donnelly there on the right, and he's wearing a Dueling Dealers t-shirt, so I can thank him for that as well. And there's Larry in the background. Larry's like in every picture here. And I believe the guy in the green shirt is Gary Land, now that I see him from over here as well. Michael Finn appears to be to his right in this picture. And what else we got in here from Anthony? Another picture of Jason. There's Dan Poddick, and he's wearing a Dueling Dealers t-shirt. Man, we were well represented at the show, weren't we? That's great. But yeah, you can see it's a great turnout. I mean, I have not been to the show in probably 8 years. Ruben, let's see. Murdoch got there too. Good. I'm glad. Yeah, it's a good show. It's too bad you only had 45 minutes to look around, though. I'm sure you didn't get to get through the whole show with 45 minutes. And did it close that early? At 3 p.m.? That's a little surprising. I thought their shows went a little longer than that. Let's see. Do I recognize anybody else in the shot? No, I don't. What else we got here? Well, just one more picture. It was, of course, he had to get a picture of Sharon. I guess Sharon drew that artwork, and Ilya's wife, Ilya in the chat, Ilya's wife picked up that art from Sharon. So congratulations to Sharon. I think that was her first con art sale of her own. So, and you can see she's got her cupcakes in the background too. That's awesome. And plenty of stickers on the table. Look at that for pasties. He came prepared. No Higashi. Hart, I did not see John in any of those. I mean, he's more of a West Coaster, right? But I have never known him to go to the Comic Card Con. Maybe he does. I don't know. So Murdoch, you actually were able to pick up some art while you were there, even though you had the 45 minutes. That's good. That's great. And Brett says it looked like a Ramita drawing. That is what I thought it was at first too, but I guess it was one that Sharon did. She actually did a really great job on her sketch cards. I had a, where did I put that? I actually had an image with her sketch cards on it. She did far better than I did. I thought mine were okay. But Sharon's sketch cards were fantastic. It kind of makes me want to go back in there and rework them a little bit because Sharon did such a great job. So speaking of the sketch cards, I don't think I got these in until last Friday. But as I mentioned, anybody who bought the sketch cards through the Kickstarter, I actually had custom boxes printed out. So it's a doozy on it. What's your best price, Anthony? Claimy, Curata de Butts. What else we got? I think that was it. But at any rate, I wanted to make the container that you're going to get your trading cards in fun. And so I had a set of those printed up as well. So I've got everything in for the trading cards now, except Anthony has to mail me the signed cards, of which I saw Jason got some of his. Jason was on one of the cards as well from that the Pro-Am bout against Anthony when they kind of did the face-off type stuff. There was a nice card with the both of them on it. So Jason got some of those cards, but Anthony's got his set of cards to sign, and he should be done with them tonight. So I would imagine I'll have them in the mail tomorrow. So I'll get them early next week. So fingers crossed, I'll have all of the Kickstarters in the mail by next Friday. Brett Mixon, is it too late to order a set? I'm probably going to have up to 10 sets remaining after I get everything mailed out and whatnot. So, shoot me an email if you're interested in picking one up. And if they are still available, I will definitely, I don't mind, I'd rather sell them and get them into people's hands. So, fun tainer, says Jeff Wedding. It was fun putting it together. If I ever do it again, at least now I have a better understanding of going through and doing packaging and whatnot, because that was something that I had not done before. And there's a lot of real easy places online to do those. Maki Poo Poo, I know you had asked for a drawing from both Anthony and Mike, and I got them both to do one. Self-portraits, though, just so you know. But I did get them both to put one together for you. So I had everybody's requests, and pretty much if you requested a character or a person to do your sketch, I took care of it. So I showed off a couple of those on Wednesday. So I did get 2 packages. We're gonna do our mail call right now, so I don't forget that. Both of these, I think we probably already know what they are. They are from Anthony, and let's see, because I know this one he showed off the night of my birthday on the 18th. Let's see, when we had that was, what show was that? That was the Jordan show. But let's see here. So a case that says Norse gods on it. And let's see. Another case inside still says Norse gods. Man, how do you get it out of there? Holy smokes. It's got its own certificate of authenticity. It's got partial gold plating over all silver. And look at that. It's Loki. Nice Loki on that side, and the Queen is on the other. Elizabeth. Huh. Very weighty though. Wow. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I think remember Anthony popped in during the show if you were watching that one, and he opened it for me so I could see what it was. He wanted to show me. So there you go. That's cool. I got a Loki thing from him. Now the other thing, I'm going to regret opening this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Again, it's from Anthony. It's in a very big box. And I know probably most of you can guess what it is if you saw the Dueling Dealers episode from the week before. And hey, Mikhail, thank you. These things have come in so handy. I wish I would have had these a long time ago. All right. And yep, it's exactly what I thought it was. I think. Yep. Oh boy. I'm afraid to take it out of here. All right. There's 2 hands on this thing. It is a cake. It's the Billigan's hat cake. Yep, smells like a cake. So there you have it. There is the actual cake. Now, I am not going to save this, just so everybody knows that we're not going to eat it. So there you go. I got, yeah, Ilya says I got a lot of bubble wrap. Yeah, that was a lot of bubble wrap. Well, it looks pretty darn good. I mean, if I held the Billigan hat up to it, I think it's a pretty sharp job there. It's very impressive. It actually, she has literally put in every stitch. I know that my camera's got to be better than theirs. Look at that. She literally worked every stitch into the hat. So that's pretty crazy. But yeah, this is not moving with me down to Florida. I'll break it to Sharon. But nicely done. Nicely done. I'm not going to eat the cake, Chris. And let's see. How's that? There you go. That's as good as it gets. Okay. Nope, that one's not going to get eaten. Not going to get eaten. There we go. Yeah, I think it's heavy. That's almost as heavy as that coin was. Yeah, I know Anthony already had it on his head. That's right, Brett. Yeah. But no, Sharon's awesome though, isn't she? I mean, I don't know what the show would be like if Sharon hadn't appeared on that first episode, because that, obviously that was unscripted when she popped in and gave Anthony that piece of it was chocolate cake with cherries on it. That was we didn't plan any of that, and she just happened to come in and try to give him something because he hadn't had dinner yet, and that was on the first episode. And how did it not break? There was a lot of foam padding in that sucker. So thank you, Anthony, of course, for both the gift and the cake. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But what do we got here? What other things that I want to talk to everybody about? I mean, hey, there's a big art drop tomorrow at Felix's website. Did you see that? The Ryan Otley Hulk art. I know there's a lot of people talking about that online, and I even had a few people email me about it. But everybody's interested to see what the prices are going to be like tomorrow. And of course, I have no idea. I guess I could know, but I'm not. That's not what I do. I don't poke around and see what the dealers have stuff listed for. But I'm sure it's going to be a sellout, probably really quick. So anybody, he drops those at noon Eastern. Titan first appearance, says Scott. That is very, very true. So I would expect, if you're on CAF, you might sense a disturbance in the force right at noon, because Felix's site is on our servers as well. And I am quite certain that there will be a big rush of people hitting refresh over and over and over on his new page, waiting for that art to appear. And usually we don't see any slowdowns or anything, but tomorrow there could be one or two bumps in the road right around noon in those first 5 minutes. But it'll be interesting to see. Marcus says good art, not sure about the writing. Yeah, it's I agree, the art is fantastic. So, and Chris says he's the most effective hype man in the biz. He definitely is. No, I mean, Felix really kind of outdoes himself every time. I think when he's got something big to promote. So kudos to him. He does a great job. But yeah, tomorrow should be interesting with that art drop. Let me see here. I'm looking at my notes as well. But one thing I wanted to, actually, I'm going to pull this up and show everybody, because we talk about becoming subscribers on the channel, right? And I know many of you are. Many of you are. You're also members of the channel too. But subscribing is really super important. And it's funny, I don't really I don't talk too much about hyping, doing these things. Nick does a great job with the likes and everything, but it is funny because subscribing always helps make sure that you don't miss any of the shows, right? You even get kind of alerted when something, when we're doing something. So I wanted to show everybody just a couple things here first. Got to share my screen here for you. Where is that? Here it is. Okay. And I'll just go ahead and, so if you're not familiar with subscribing through YouTube, I'm already subscribed, so I can't, but there would be a subscription button right here. And if you're on any of the upcoming shows or even on this show, down in this section here is a subscribe button. But the thing is, I know everybody kind of follows the schedule because on CAF, we do a really great job of letting you know when the shows are. But for me, when I actually thumb through and I look at people who commented, you can actually see when it has this little red icon next to the name, that means a person is subscribed to the channel. So David Matheny, you're not subscribed to the channel. West, you're not subscribed. Jeff Wedding, Mr. Easy Go Lucky. The thing is, you guys are always in the chat. You know when it's happening, but not being a subscriber could mean that at some point you could actually miss something we're doing here. So when I look through there, look, Nick Patera is not subscribed to the channel. So at any rate, a reminder to everyone, it's always good to subscribe, just because then you don't miss anything that we're doing for certain, and you can pretty much set it up to always know when we go live. But yeah, you can see there's a lot of people who regularly comment on our stuff that are not subscribers. Oh, and Matt Moore joined. Thank you, Matt. I really appreciate that. I'm just trying to get people to subscribe to the channel so they don't miss out on the updates. I always say that on the Dueling Dealers episode when we get started, but it's true. You really do want to subscribe to the channel. And you can see we're almost up to 2,946 subscribers to the channel, which is pretty amazing. I really didn't think we were going to hit 3,000 until sometime in the middle of the summer, but we've had a really big push the last month for some reason, and it's been good. We've actually had a really high number of people sign up in the last 30, 45 days. So as Nick will tell you, it's not easy getting subscribers, but the more subscribers you have, the more YouTube kind of pushes your videos, whether they're live or after they've already happened, out to people and using their algorithm. So really, subscribing to the channel helps us kind of get the word out faster. So I would encourage. Well, Jeff says he's a subscriber, but it doesn't show it. Yeah, that is weird. Yeah, you can see. Well, you can see it. I mean, on that one screen, it shows. If you don't have the red icon, it doesn't have. Well, I don't know. Hey guys, all I can do is look at the data. That's all I got. But at any rate, just wanted to point that out to anybody who's new. It's always good to subscribe to the channel because you'll never miss any of the stuff that we're doing here. We've got a lot of things going on. I've been working on the panels for the upcoming Comic Art Live. And I don't think anything's changed really since last week, but Felix is going to start the show off on Saturday at 2. He hasn't not told me whom the guest is yet, but I've got a couple ideas from the things he's said to me, so I'm looking forward to that. And I think he will have a second panel as well, though he hasn't asked me to block out any time for him yet. I've got Howard Chaykin's going to be on at 4 on Saturday. Adam Hughes and Allison Sohn will be on at 5. They are going to be setting up a booth again this time around, but you probably have heard Adam's basically not doing comic book artwork at the moment. He has kind of, I mean, I don't even know what he's done. He has a primary job now that is outside of comics. So he's not going to be doing or producing any comic art for sale for a little bit of time. And I know that because of that schedule, he had to back out of even Lake Como the weekend before. So when I saw them post that they were backing out of that, that's when I said, hey, I know that was like the second one I've seen them back out on. I asked if it would be okay for them to be on a panel with me, and I'm going to moderate that panel. And I know that they're not going to be able to really talk about what Adam's working on, but I think it'll be a fun conversation. And because they missed out on several other cons because of his Adam's current work schedule, I figured Comic Art Live is the next best place for him to hang out. And then I can tell you, Anthony will start us off on Sunday at noon. And I confirmed today with Mark Hay that Paulo Rivera will be once again joining us on Sunday, like he always does, at 1 o'clock. And I know that Paulo will be doing at least 4 of those painted, you can call them head sketches, I guess, but you're familiar with Paulo's work. You know how nice they are. I mean, they're bigger than trading card size, like 3x5 or something, but I know he's going to be doing at least 4 of those. I can't promise that they're going to be bringing any. I know that last time he did a couple larger pieces that they auctioned off in the chat. But it is kind of how it goes. So, 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 and then what else do I got? And then I know that Tatiana, I'm going to be doing a panel with someone there as well. And what else I got for Comic Art Live, just to kind of round that out. But as far as the attendees go, yeah, somebody said, how dare somebody file a copyright claim? Daniel saw that on that page. You know what it is, Daniel? The intro, when the countdown clock plays, that is actually a copyrighted piece of music. But the thing is, I subscribe to the service that allows me to use it, so I have a license to use it. But the thing is YouTube flags it every single show as breaking their copyright rules because it is owned by somebody else. And every single show after the show, I have to copy and paste this block of this, I don't want to, it's like a certificate that I'm given for it. I have to paste that into this thing to approve the fact that I have it. You'd think that I would only have to do that once, but I've had to do it every single show. So there's no way around it, unfortunately. And as Ruben said, imagine how well-paying a job that has to be. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's a pretty interesting gig for him. And again, I don't think we'll be talking about it during the panel, but just from talking with or emailing with Allison a bit, it just sounded like it was the right move for Adam to do. And he's got to be happy. And so Jill Loudon says, gotta love Paulo. Yeah, Jill, I was talking with how did that click back up on there? When I was talking with Mark today when he told me that Paulo was in again, and he said, what headshots should he paint? And I said Wonder Woman. And what else did I tell him? Scarlet Witch. I told him Daredevil, Moon Knight, maybe, and I threw Doctor Strange at him too, just seeing if Paulo would do it, because I thought it would be cool for people to maybe get a chance at picking up a Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch. But I did say Wonder Woman, and he definitely said most likely that Paulo will do a Wonder Woman. So just throwing that out there for you, Jill. Oh, you've already got a Wonder Woman. All right, well then you don't need another one. Let someone else get it. But I mean, I did forget to mention, I've mentioned this before, we are going to be doing a pre-sketch sale with several artists. Most of them are from Jiggy's crew, but what we're going to do, and I haven't settled on the price, it's probably going to be like $150 plus shipping. We're going to advance sale some sketch opportunities for Comic Art Live. Friday evening from 9 to 11, I'll have several of the artists who are participating on a live stream, and we will be doing they'll be drawing some of the sketches. So people who buy them will be able to pick the character, but you won't know what artist you're going to get. So I can go over the artist list now because I do have it finalized. I'm not really going to reach out to any more other reps or anything this first time around, since I feel this is more of an experiment for us. We've never done anything like that before. But from Jiggy, he talked to his creators, and I can tell you that Mannix is doing it. He's going to be doing 4 of them. Robbie and Moore, JP Coulson, Elmer's in on it. Let's see, Jim Jimenez, Mikel Mercado. Sorry, I'm butchering names tonight. Ellery Santos, Sawe, Miko Swayan. I know he's at Megacon that weekend, but he's going to be doing them from there. He's doing 3 or 4. Luigi's in on it. Harvey is as well, and most of those creators are doing 2 or 3. So that'll be interesting. And then I've got Jason Crater from Tatiana, and then Ken Carson from 4C. Aranga will be doing, I believe, 3 sketches. Bill Morrison will be doing 3, and Russ Braun from The Boys will be doing 3 as well. So I think that's about 46 to 50 sketch opportunities that we'll have for the show. So I'm not watching it in the chat, but that at any rate, so I'll give you more details about that during the week. But I think if things go well, I might just open up the sale for those next. I probably might even do it during the show next week, just to kind of get it out there and just ask people to kind of limit themselves to 1. But if they're not all sold out by the next day, anybody wants to have 2 could certainly do that. But you'll be able to pick the character. You won't know who's doing the artwork. But just be something fun to do as part of the Comic Art Live show, and a little bit of that goes to the show. So that helps me kind of cover the people who are helping me with the panels and a few other things that I've been paying out for a while. When do those? Yeah, so there you go, Matt. My plan is, if I can't do it on Thursday evening. Because the one thing, remember, we did a drink and draw with Heroes, with the Hero Initiative a couple shows back, and going into that, we had talked about the idea that it needs to be provided to our audience first, because it's my show, and all the money was going to Hero, but I wanted the people who are taking care of me, all of you, to have first crack at it. And when Hero did what Hero did was they just mailed it out to their mailing list and sold every sketch opportunity in 25-30 minutes or something like that. And so no one, unless they were on Heroes mailing list, even knew about it. Even though they knew going in, I was the one who was supposed to promote it. So they chose not to do that the last show or two. And so that's kind of why I decided, what, we're going to do our own show. But for me, I'm keeping only a small percentage. Most of the money's going back to the artists. I just felt like this is an opportunity to guarantee some creators some money for the show, and create an affordable sketch opportunity for those of you who are supporting everything that I do around here. So we just wanted to keep it fun, and then the opportunity to see any of the creators working the night before we have the Comic Art Live opening, I just thought would be fun. And Kevin Sharp's asking, what will be the platform of payment? I'm looking into a couple different things right now. I'd like to use Stripe because they have more methods of payment, but they don't seem to have an inventory management system built into it, unfortunately. So I've got to dig around a little bit to see if there's something in there. But the thing is, unfortunately, I can tell you PayPal has something that allows you to set an inventory on something. So clearly I know how many sketches we've got to sell. So I want to use a platform that will allow me to set a finite number of sketches available and to have a custom field for character. So there you have it. So I'll let everybody know as soon as I can. It may be better to let everybody know, say on next week's show, and then maybe release the page at noon on Friday, where you can make the purchases, and then maybe if things don't sell out by 12:30, then I would go ahead and send it out to the CAF mailing list or whatnot. But Shopify would be a way to do it. You're absolutely right. And the thing is, I do run a Shopify store for Infected by Art. That might be my option, to be quite honest. I'll have to look at that. I didn't think about using my the store I use with them, but I know they won't care since I'm part owner in that business. Well, okay. Scott says Stripe does have an inventory piece. Well, I'll tell you, Scott, when I was looking at it, there were third-party plugins to manage inventory. I could not find when I was reading through all their documentation, I couldn't find a thing that allowed me to set an inventory, whether it was on a purchase now button or that sort of thing. But maybe you can clue me in on what I was missing while I was reading through Stripe, because I would prefer to use Stripe. They have a lot more payment options than PayPal does, of course. It's Stripe, Marcus, Stripe. But yeah, so I think that might be the way to go, and hopefully that sounds good to everybody. I will give everybody in the chat the link tomorrow, or on next Thursday, and then it'll probably be something I turn on either right then during the show, or say at noon the following day. But if it's ready during the show, I'd rather just turn it on during our show here, and it'd be cool if we just sell out and be done with it, right? And everything's locked up, and I can get all of the characters that people have to sketch out to their rep long before the show. Because hopefully my goal was that in some cases the artist would actually be able to do the work before the show and just have it ready, and I'll actually have it back and in hand immediately after Comic Art Live, and we can get these out quickly. So yeah, but I will definitely clue everybody in as often as I can about that. But again, hopefully Thursday or Friday, those things will be on sale. So there you go. And then we're at an hour again already. How is this even possible? I know I say that every single week. Let's see what else. Also, I'm going to hold that till next week. But well, I guess that's probably everything. One thing I can, I might as well show you one other thing before we get to the CAF update. I did have Maureen make a few updates in the booth management, and I appreciate everybody who signed up for a booth. I haven't turned on the booth preview yet, so you can see who is going to be
who is setting up a booth, but I will probably have that turned on by this time next week. Let's see. Let me highlight the screen over here. So for those of you who don't know how to set up a booth for Comic Art Live, let me just fit the screen a little bit better here. But the way you activate your booth is you go to your gallery management page right there, manage your galleries. And right up the top, mine says set up booth because I've already done it. If you haven't set up your booth, I think it actually says something like start the booth setup or something like that. And if you do that, you have to agree that you're going to adhere to the terms and conditions that we request every seller on CAF to follow, which is pretty general, but we link through all that and you can review it and you have to say that you will, and then you can do your booth creation, and it has kind of a general FAQ page in between it. But from the booth setup page, one of the things that I know people asked about was you can see here, like, you manage your Saturday art drop versus your Sunday art drop. Each day you can have 24 artworks for sale. I know most collectors, we don't have 48 artworks for sale, but it's possible. But you're allowed to have 2 separate art drops, one for Saturday, one for Sunday, which could leave you 48 artworks in total in your booth. One of the things that people wanted after last show was the ability to, well, a couple things. They wanted to be able to make it real easy. Let me just go into here. If I were to add a new artwork to my booth on Sunday, it's pretty generic information to fill out, but we basically set up this extra button in here. So whether you're adding art to Saturday's show or Sunday, you can just continue to keep adding artwork. So instead of just adding artwork and return to your booth setup, you can just click, if you put in all your art details, you can click the add artwork and add another artwork to Sunday link and just plow through doing your 24. Because in the old days, in the last 4 shows, you would click that, you'd come back to the screen, it would be on the Saturday tab, you'd have to click Sunday again, you'd have to click add an artwork. So now if you've got all your artworks ready to go to load into your booth, you can pretty much knock them all out and not worry about it, and get it done quickly. So that was something that was always troublesome before and took people a long time to get things set up. So why does CAF not like your JPEGs, Jeff? Or are you getting an error message or something? You can let me know. Chris Nork's reminding me to do next video. I'm not going to forget, Chris. I promise. It's actually on my list. And I can tell you the other thing I finally added to everything, all the description fields in the booth setup is a WYSIWYG editor. So now you can actually kind of write your own links if you want, and you can bold things and italicize things. Before that, it was just a text field, and you couldn't even control paragraph breaks unless you could go in and write your own p tags and whatnot. So Jeff says he had problems with JPEGs, but PNGs worked fine. I think with PNGs, I mean, as an artist, Jeff, I'll tell you, the only scans that CAF ever has problems with are typically when collectors get scans from artists, believe it or not, because a lot of collectors either whenever they buy artwork from an artist, they tend to ask for the scans, right? Well, in most cases, if it's published work, the artist is giving them the same scan that they sent to their publisher. And what I have found is that many artists use custom color profiles on their scans, or how they manipulate their JPEGs after they've scanned them in. And custom color profiles cause all kinds of problems with our image upload tool. Now, that could just be a limitation on our end, but the only time I ever see problems with JPEG files is that and I always end up telling the collector, open the file up in your image editing program and resave it as a JPEG, same name, different name, whatever you want to do. But just by doing that, it strips out the color profile that the artist put on it, and the image is fine after that. And I mean, literally 98% of the image problems that occur on CAF are just that very same thing. It's a color profile. Don't know. And I know NSN's mentioning it too, but I'm just saying, I know for a fact it's a color profile issue. I've 20 years of doing this. It is, and it's flaky, but when you save it as a PNG, it probably strips all that out, and then you end up having no problems with it. It strips out. There you go, Marcus. So at any rate, I was really only showing you this so you could know that you can actually plow through adding your artwork to your booth if you're prepared. So when you're doing it last minute, and whatnot, you've got an easier setup to do it. And the one thing I'll remind everybody too about booth setup is that for the Saturday art drop, which happens at 11 a.m. On May 21st, for premium members, you can't add any artwork to your booth after 10 a.m. on Saturday for the Saturday art drop. You can continue to add art to your Sunday art drop until 10 a.m. on Sunday. But after that, those times get locked in. You can't add any new artwork to your booth. The only thing you can really do after that is update your prices. If you want to lower them a little bit, do a sale. So always keep that in mind. And a lot of people who are new to setting up booths here don't understand the lockdown process, but we do lock down the booth at 1 hour before the art drop. Just makes things a little bit easier, gives us all kind of a clock to follow. Let's see. All right. Well, I'm glad everybody gets it. I'm glad. But if anybody has any problems with stuff in here, let me know. Maureen and I have a couple other things that we need to tweak out before we get to the time the show is going to launch and everything. But I think it's all gone smoothly so far. The programming stuff we've done has not broken anything yet. But yeah, fingers crossed that doesn't happen. So let me go ahead and stop this. There we go. Yeah, we should be at 84 likes, shouldn't we? Yeah, there's 85 people watching the show right now. Ruben says 10 minutes after 10. Hopefully we can get to the art right after the CAFCON promo. I know. It's a good hangout for us all. I apologize, guys. I should just plow through this stuff a little bit better. But hey, I don't want to forget the EXP promo. Nick is in the audience. Of course, you know that on the EXP, Nick hosts his original art experience every Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern, and he's always got something fun going on. I think you've got some interestingly low-priced artworks on tomorrow's show, Nick, if I recall. But let's go ahead and take a look at the promo that you put together for me, and we can see what he's got.
Check it out, everyone. This Friday, April 29th, 7 p.m., as it always is on the Original Art Experience. We have great original art. Now, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to give you surprises. Not only do we have all this art, which I'm about to get to, we will have more. And 5 pieces of art, maybe some of this, maybe some of the new stuff, will be $75. We're going to continue celebrating my mother's 75th birthday, so 5 for $75. I'm pretty sure some people are saying, why not 7 for $75? We'll stick to 5. It's 5 stars. So we have a great show. We will have Ron Garney, one of my favorite artists, but this time from Silver Surfer, and this is issue 129. We will have Ultimate 6 art by Trevor Harshen and Danny Mickey. We will have Captain America by Steve Epting. Oh my God, that page is beautiful. This is right after the death of Captain America, Tony Stark giving the eulogy. Then we have Captain America by John Romita Jr. with Armin Zola. Then we have a little bit of Bagley with Venom First Host. We have some more Garney with Fantastic Four. Oh look, more Epting, more Captain America, and more Armin Zola. You might almost think I planned that. Then we're going to have some Tom Rainey Superman. We're going to have Uncanny X-Men 401, page 20 by Ron Garney. I wonder if this is going to be one of the $75 pages. Got to tune in on Friday at 7 to find out. New Mutants by Diego Neves and inks by Cam Smith. We will have our commission cover art by Ken Hazer, as we always do. Maybe it'll even be a little bit of Star Wars in advance of May the 4th be with you. And a little bit of cherry on top, we figured we'd do a little bit of Marvel, a little bit of DC. Check it out. These 2 pages will be given away on Friday. You'll be able to enter by watching the show. So 2 different people will win. We figured do a little bit of Marvel, a little bit of DC. Did I get it right? I did. Hulk, Superman, or shall I say Lex Luthor. This Friday, April 29th, 7 p.m. on The Experience. See you then.
See you then. And hey, I just saw Jordan was in the audience, and he emailed me about getting one of those cards. Look at this, Jordan. How you like that? Memorable moment from that was the Pro-Am show. That was the show against Mike. But yes, there is a card with you and your daughter on it. and I will work out getting a couple cards your way, so you both can have one. But yeah, that was a good one. I knew I could not pass up that opportunity to do that card. And there's also actually one of the other cards in there was you and what else did we get in there? I'm trying to think. There was another card. Yeah, there was another card with you and Dino on it from the tag team match too. So I should probably try to get a couple extra ones out of there and to you both. So Marcus says he should hang the card in the bathroom. Yeah. And Marcus, yeah, that's a skull over there with the Thor helmet. That's what I used to keep it in place. A Falcon card, says Chris. All right, so you know what? I have gotten through all the major things that I want to talk about. I don't think there's anything else left on the list but the CAF update. So why don't we get through that? And Chris Snork is of course my guest tonight, so he'll be doing the art picks with me. So let's see here. Why don't we get to the regular CAF update? So yeah, as everybody knows, this is going to cover the week from April 18th through the 24th. Decent week all around for dealers and auction houses. Dealers hit $407,000 in sales last week compared to $364,000 the week before. Albert led the charge. He had 48 sales, $130,000 in sales. So a good week for Albert. He's doing well in his retirement, isn't he? And who else? Believe it or not, Anthony. Like I told you, he had a great weekend, and he sold $103,000 in original comic art, 152 sales. So he led both. He led in overall sales, but broke 100,000. I know he doesn't do that often, so I'm sure he was pretty happy. And then he had a great Dueling Dealers episode last night too, right? I think he had 23. So yeah, he's kind of on a roll lately. Felix is next to 82 sales, $75,000. I have a feeling he might be a little higher than that next week. Panel page art, 4 sales, 54,000, and then rounding out those dealers over 10 last week was Berkey. He had 23 sales, $26,000 in total sales. So let's see your top 6 sales from last week. Let me find that clip here. Here we go. Hopefully no mistakes this time around. What do we got? We got $407,545 in total sales. First piece, Jack Kirby, of course, Tales to Astonish 71 splash title page, sold by Glenn at panel page art for $25,000 is the asking price. And another one by Glenn with a $25,000 asking price, covered by Travis. And it's a C23 number 1 cover. Beautiful colors in there by Travis, as always. And this one's sold by Albert, Greg Capullo, Todd McFarlane. And this asking price on this was $18,000. It's from Spawn issue 50, the cover. And it's pretty awesome. And we've got a couple sales here from Albert. This is the Wonder Woman 80th anniversary hardcover cover from Jim Lee and Scott Williams. The asking price was $18,000 on this one. And of course, this is from the Flash 80th anniversary cover, and asking price on this one was $15,000 by Jim Lee and Scott Williams again. And last but not least, Anthony comes in at the top 6 here with the cover to Eternals 2. And this was painted by Assad, and the asking price on this one was $12,500. So there are your top 6. And as Jeff said, beautiful Travis piece. I agree. That was a great one, wasn't it? Yeah. All right. Jordan's got a spot picked out for the card. I'm glad. I am glad. And I like that, Ruben. Your daughter out thespian to you on that show. that was such a memorable one. And I tell you, I don't know what Maureen doesn't like about that meme, because I load that meme of the melting faces at least every other show, and Maureen never shows it. So I don't know what she has against that one. I'm going to have to ask her, because that's one of my favorites. I know it's one of everyone's favorite, right? Getting to see Anthony and his pasties and everything, but I don't know why she won't play it. I've always meant to ask her about that, but she's gone by the time the show's over, and I get all my paperwork done, so I never think to ask her the next day. I'll have to make a note of that. So auction results next, and compared to the week before, of course, it's a big drop. The week before we had $1.9 million in sales because of the illustration signature auction that went on that week at Heritage. But a strong week for eBay,
Weekly and Heritage Weekly sales at 320,871. So I'll show you the top 3 from eBay, one with a make offer that I will correct and tell you what the right amount was on that, and then the top 3 sales from Heritage Weekly. So here you go. Top sales for the week, 320,871. As I mentioned, this first piece was a make offer. This is by Gene Colan and Alfredo Alcala. It's from Batman 349. The original price was $7,500. It sold for $6,650 on an offer. Next up, this Mike Mignola Lobster Johnson Burning Hand #1 cover sold for just under $6,000. And finally, I even thought about going after this one. I was going to bid up to $5,000, and I wouldn't have gotten it. Dave Cockrum, Uncanny X-Men 146, page 14. No Uncanny X-Men on it, but I had a feeling 5K was going to be the right number, and yep, I wouldn't have gotten it. But final 3 pieces from Heritage here. Milton Caniff, Terry and the Pirates Daily from 1939, sold for $9,600. Got to get a Caniff one of these days. I love that last panel. Sergio Aragones Grew 11 DPS. This one went for $5,760. And what do we got here? Finally is, an Adi Granov Marvel Universe Live poster illustration. This one went for $5,280. I love Adi's work. So there you have it. Those were the picks. And between the two, I mean, usually it's eBay outselling Heritage, but let's see, it was of the 320,000 in sales, eBay made up 141 of that, and the Heritage Weekly auction was 180 of that. So pretty decent week for Heritage Weekly, and they've got some good stuff. Actually, I checked out their week. I usually don't even look at the Heritage Weekly stuff until closer to the end of the auction, but I checked it out today just because I had some time. They actually had some pretty decent stuff in this new auction. So. But we all know, of course, they're gearing up for their next signature one. But anyway, for those of you who like looking at art early, it's never too bad a thing to do. Sorry, I missed. Polaris is an honorary X-Woman. Yes, that is true, Robert. That is true. But just imagine if Wolverine was on that page, what it would have gone for. I mean, it is a pre-150 page, so well, it is what it is. Sorry. All right, let me hey, I got Chris Snorik in the green room here. Let me bring him in. Hey Chris, how are we tonight?
Good. How about you?
I can't complain. It's it's always fun around here. We've got a different perspective of the room. You've changed, moved your desk.
I changed it up a little bit. Showcase some different art in the background.
All right.
I'm in a temporary space. I've got like a folding table down here until I get a desk, so I can move that wherever I want.
All right. What does that mean?
He wants to fight me.
I'm thinking, yeah, maybe that's what we'll be doing on Thursday night.
Let me rephrase. He thinks he wants to fight me.
Yeah. And hey, I had to highlight Jill Loudon when I said, good stuff there at Heritage. She said, I don't want to look because she might get too tempted because there are too many cons coming up. It's true. It really is. And I'll be curious to see how the auction house prices hold up over, say the next 12 months, now that we're going to have a full slate of cons for 12 months. I mean, who can say, I think the good stuff will probably still be hitting above average prices, but I'm curious to see the mid-range stuff, the things that a lot of regular collectors are buying. Where will those be? Will they drop? Will they stay strong? You never know.
I'm curious too, because that's my range, to be honest. So
yeah, me too.
A lot of us could benefit.
Exactly. Jason said about you and Mikhail, calf fights and OA pink slips.
And I'm supposed to arm wrestle James.
Oh, you are?
I guess, yeah.
Oh, man, James is lining up a lot of side gigs here at this next show. Wow, I can't wait. James, we were on the phone earlier. You didn't tell me anything about that. What's up, man?
I'll check Yelp to see what the hospitals are rated like in Charlotte.
Oh boy, it's gonna be a fun show at Heroes, everybody. Well, why don't we? Well, actually, I got to get your stuff queued up here. But so actually, everybody, I actually sent something to Chris, and it hasn't gotten there yet. I can't believe how is it just is it still snowing in Wisconsin?
It has been. It hasn't snowed this week, but yeah, it did snow last week. It's just been, the weather's been crap. But no, I actually it's funny because I actually just texted my wife and said, real quick, just in case like UPS came late, would you look outside? And she said, there's nothing there.
There's nothing. I can't believe that. I mailed it on Monday. Oh wow. I'm sorry, man. I was hoping we get to open it, and you're not here next week because it's your birthday. I think or something's going on Thursday, right?
It's my birthday. Yeah, 5/5.
Yeah. All right. Well,
You'll be in good hands with Larry, I think, right?
Yes. Larry is the guy on tap for that one. He and I haven't talked. I hope he remembers. I haven't seen him in the chat tonight, but Frank says you're not allowed to pull any hair, though. I guess Mikhail doesn't have to worry about that.
Got him.
But he could get you by the beard, though. You never know.
Oh, Fish is 5'6". Nice.
There you go. Gosh, I forgot about being Cinco de Mayo next week. Wow. Happy birthday, Revenge of the 5th.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Fish.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick.
Well, let's take a look at some artwork, and Chris, you get to start us off. We've got some crossover on artists tonight, I can tell you that. And I even had crossover on picks. I ended up picking 2 cat pages. I couldn't help myself though. But I think I tried to stay away from the mutants. I don't know if I did a good job though. Larry, Larry isn't here game night. Okay, so yeah, I'll have to ping Larry. I know he was supposed to be that guest but we had talked about it like a month ago. So
I don't, Bill, if we don't have plans, if Larry, as of right now, if Larry can't do it, I'll muck in on my birthday. It's not a big deal. And if that box comes, even better.
Oh, all right. That's true. All right. All right. Let's get this show on the road here. We're only at the hour and 27-minute mark. So we're doing pretty good.
Sorry, Ruben.
All right. So a Jack Kirby, Carl Kessel piece, and this is in Mel Higgins' CAF gallery.
The obvious reason to pick this is Kirby, right? But less obvious reason is actually, and Fish will appreciate this. This is a nostalgia pick for me. The reason being is, so when I was a little kid, the first comic I ever really looked at, aside from like the ones that my uncles had at my grandma's house, was an official handbook of the Marvel Universe. So I really used that and Who's Who. I grew up in a really small town, and like we got comics at the drugstore and the grocery store, and that was basically it. I never stepped foot into a comic store until I was in probably 5th or 6th grade. So I used to page. I used to page through these books to like learn about all the other characters. So Who's Who was kind of a gateway drug for me. So I really like this book. And then, Challengers of the Unknown being kind of the, the prototype team for the Fantastic Four, which is a big favorite of mine. So yeah, not so much about the art in this pick, although it's terrific. It's Kirby. But yeah, nostalgia pick.
No, it's a good one. Like I say, I got a Kirby, I have to say. But yeah, this is a nice one. I saw it as well. I thought about it, but I'm glad you picked it. It didn't make the cut when I was going through it because I picked a different one. But no, it's great. And and these are they're almost like character designs when you get stuff like this. So yeah, this is a lot of fun.
There were so many characters that I didn't realize at the time were really lame, but I just thought their outfits were so cool. Like Stingray, I knew Stingray only from Official Handbook of the Marvel Universe. I was like, oh my god, this guy's a stallion. I thought Stingray was just the bee's knees, and then like I come to find out he's a loser. He can't even hold Aquaman's jack.
Poor Aquaman. All right. Well, I think both Ron and Ruben want to know, how old are you? Because Ron said, Who's Who was an early comic for you. I'm old. And then Ruben said, you were a little kid when Who's Who was out. How young are you?
Oh, sorry. So on 5/5 next week, I will be 47. I'm not that young.
No, well, see, that's, yeah. Not now. You guys feel better? You're not that old now.
Yeah.
Aquaman says, poor Aquaman. He doesn't get
I
Aquaman.
like Aquaman. I do. I honestly do.
Yeah, we don't pick a lot of Aquaman art.
Not the Momoa version either. I like, for whatever reason, probably because he was the Aquaman when I was a kid. I like the white bread, orange shirt Aquaman.
No, I mean, that's when I think of Aquaman, I still think of that, not Momoa. But there you go. And Hart says you're old-ish.
Thanks, Hart. Appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah, the key is we don't have kids, so I keep my youthful vigor.
Yeah. Kids will do it to you every single time. All right, next artwork here. And Kevin Nolan, of course. And this is in Juan Munoz CAF Gallery. Let's see here, get that. It looks very Nolan-y.
Yeah, I think, regular viewers of the show know that I have a problem with picking Kevin Nolan art. I kind of can't not do it. But I really liked so the subject matter of this was so cool. Like, one of the things that I'm not a huge Wolverine fan, but one of the things that I do think is so cool about Wolverine is that, he has this kind of like, he's eternal essentially, right? So this is, obviously during World War I, there's these soldiers with the gas masks and pickle hobs are coming up out of the trenches. Wolverine's there and he's got the short hair and he's, obviously getting ready to throw down with these guys. But the thing that I really love about this piece the most is the kind of gas effect that he has going on in the background, and then that hatching to break up the gas effect. So just really cool use of negative space. Obviously, I'm assuming, I think this was a cover. Did it say it was a cover or is it a splash?
Let's see. Cover to Savage Wolverine 21. Okay.
Yeah, so great spot to put the title and all that kind of stuff in the background. I'm not wild about that coloring job, but we say that a lot.
Yes, we do. But yeah, no, it's beautiful. And again, that's an interesting way of doing the gas. You're right, with the cross hatching off after the heavy blacks, but it works really, really well. That's great. I've not owned anything by Nolan yet.
I only have one piece, and I hope to. There's so many people that I still need to get one piece from, but Kevin Nolan is certainly one of the ones where I wouldn't mind having another.
I cannot complain. Yeah, I'd love to get one of those myself. Huh. All right. Oh, Cliff Chang. This is a good one.
Love Cliff Chang. I really do tend to gravitate towards artists who have a, I guess, simple or slick style. Cliff Chang definitely being one of those guys. Composition is so cool. I love, Jaquita being the, sort of strong, forceful member of the group, being in the forefront makes a lot of sense. Drummer being kind of like highlighted by in the thigh gap there, doing his thing in the background. And then, Snow just kind of taking up negative space and, using that like fine line technique to really make him mostly white, but still keep the detail in there. Really cool.
Yeah, I love Cliff's work too. I've got a couple convention sketches by him, kind of around that same period too, 2008. But yeah, he's just got I don't know, great sensibility on composition, and his ink work is lovely. I mean, that face is on all of them. Man, it's just a great image. And
terrific expression. Jaquita's expression so characterful. Cliff Chang also like super, like, what an incredibly nice guy. My my brother actually commissioned him at C2E2 probably in 2010, and Cliff didn't get around to doing the sketch at the show. Didn't do it. So finally, my brother in the interceding 10 years gets married, and his first anniversary is coming up. So he sends Cliff an email and he says, okay, shot in the dark, but first anniversary is paper. Is there any way you'd be willing to finish that commission for me for my first anniversary? So what he does instead is he does a huge twice up Wonder Woman, puts it in an absolute Wonder Woman, and ships it to him for free.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, how did your friend feel?
My brother, he flipped
Your
out.
brother, I'm sorry.
He flipped out.
Oh my gosh. I mean, who wouldn't though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Just incredible. Like what an awesome gesture. Like he obviously didn't have to do any of that, but did. And yeah, just amazing. Can't say enough good things about Cliff Chang.
Nope, I agree. I mean, Cliff, when he was, yeah, I've got to hang out with him a few times early on in my collecting career, and yeah, he is one of the nicest guys in the art business. All right, got my like on there, and this is Mike Fogg, longtime member, as you can see, June 2003. So he's been he joined, gosh, probably only about 3 months after the site launched. That's commitment, I'd say. Let's see, who do we got next? Oh, yeah, this is who is this? Oh, and Eric Nilsson's CAF gallery. Wow.
Yeah, Riccardo Federici is one of the only reasons that I'm still on Instagram. I would dearly love to get off of Instagram, but I love to see this guy's stuff, and like he's pretty active on Insta, and the in-process stuff that he posts is just incredible. You know, this obviously as a finished work is just gorgeous, but you know, the tone, the hue, I mean, there's nothing to pick apart about the painting. This is, you know, the painting itself, the technique is tremendous. He's got a, you know, yeah, absolutely, ML. There's so much atmosphere here. This is moody, but it's also like pretty intensely realistic, really, you know, in that not quite in that like Alex Ross vibe, but also not, you know, too far away from it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I think I like the most about this is so many times the tendency with single figure commissions or single figure, you know, anything is to shoot low to high. He went high to low here. And I think you don't see that much with Batman. And I think it's really effective in this piece. It's very cool.
Yeah, I like the when you're talking about the atmosphere, just how the rain is making the the building blurry. I just think it's just a really, really nicely done piece. And you're right. I didn't even think about the perspective idea that, you know, usually Batman is when he's on his gargoyle, he's at a
Right.
gargoyle is almost the thing that's the central focus of the image, you know, and Batman's usually, you know, you can't see his feet or something like that because of the way they'll position him. But yeah, this is a completely different take on Batman,
and not an easy one.
No,
that's
not at all.
not a half-assed approach there to the pose.
Nope, no, not at all. Well, and was this what was it? Oh, it was a cover. Okay, I didn't read the title before I hopped on here. So Batman variant original cover, issue 106. Well, good get there. Oh, nice pick.
Thank you.
And speaking of Tim Sale, we sold a Tim Sale on Monday night. Mr. Wingo did. But this is Daredevil Yellow 5, page 15 in Glenn Brunswick's CAF gallery. I picked an art from Glenn Brunswick. How do you like that? But this one, I would have probably picked this one if you hadn't picked it. It's so amazing. I mean, all, you know, the top panel and the bottom panel are, gosh. I mean,
yeah, the bottom panel, yeesh.
Yeah, man.
And you know, maybe it's the subject, but like, you know, it's the subject. This gives me like a colon feel. You know, it's a really exaggerated pose.
Mm-hmm.
You know, particularly that right arm is, you know, really thrust back there, and you know, the left one too. But obviously, you know, Tim Sale, like, incredibly effective use of tone here. He's applying, you know, there's wash, there's solid inks, there's, you know, he's effectively painting, you know, painting in black and white and gray. It's just terrific. I mean, I can't, you know, effuse praise is not enough.
Yeah, no, it's just everything. I love all three panels. I love the you know, the tilted perspective in that center panel. You know, it's just kind of carrying you over to the lower panel. But yeah, I love this. Love the water in the back. I mean, everything. It's a lovely image. Look at all those bricks, those tiny little bricks.
So many bricks.
Man, But yeah, this would have been on my list too. I mean, I love Tim Sale's work, and yeah, the bottom panel. If I would have seen this one, this probably would have been the thumbnail graphic for the show. But I didn't see it. When was it added? I think it probably was added after I created it, the 21st. Okay, well, I guess I could have seen it. I think I made it around then. But yeah, this is a good one. And Glenn had another piece that I featured as well. Let's see. All right. Well, congratulations to Glenn.
Yeah, I think you said this the other night, but sometimes we forget that dealers are often collectors.
Exactly. I mean, well, you know, I think we're all, by and large, we're all in the same boat. I mean, dealers might, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to, at the end of the day, right? I mean, if they have a piece of art that somebody might offer them stupid money for, of course they're going to sell it, even if it's in their personal collection. I mean, Mike Berkey does it. He's got an amazing Spider-Man collection, but he, you know, for the right price, he's sold things he certainly regrets over time, you know, selling the first Mary Jane or certain covers that he's had. But, you know, at the end of the day, he's just as happy when he finds something that he's been looking for a while. So yeah, I'm sure Glenn was pretty happy. I mean, you know, that's, and you have to look at it that way too. With all of the great artwork that has been coming out onto the market, thanks to Heritage and Comic Link, you know, in the last year and a half, I mean, the dealers have probably been equally, as well as looking for inventory, they've probably been looking at how can I add a few of these pieces to my personal collection? Because I mean, that's probably why the piece that I'm going to show, I'm sure that's what Glenn was thinking when he picked that piece up. So let's keep this rolling here.
Now, hopefully he doesn't make a liar out of us in a week.
Right. Exactly. It could happen. But all right. So, this is okay. Now, Philip LeBon Gallery. Cool.
Yeah, I didn't realize initially that this was for sale, but it was sold. So I thought, okay, I'm still gonna pick it. This piece, just the thumbnail absolutely like laser focused me in. I love the fact that the figure is in color and that everything else is in black and white. I think probably easily the most effective thing in this entire piece, though, is the lighting effect that he used from the explosion that's cutting through those buildings. So that negative space that's in the upper right corner, that you know, it's obviously an explosion, but I mean, as a graphic element, it's incredible. So I mean, wow.
Yeah, I saw this one too, and I thought I kind of thought the same thing. If you didn't have the effect up there, the way the buildings are just getting shattered, and the lighting that's down there would have been very different. But yeah, I love the perspective on it, tilting the page like that he did, and yeah, the image is really nice. And you know, the LeBon Gallery is an advertiser, so I don't mind showing off a piece when they put stuff like this out there. I think they had is this from a show?
Yeah, there was an Atomo like a retrospective that it was held, and like Paul Pope did a piece, and a bunch of Felix's guys did a piece. I know Ian Bertram was in it. So several of these pieces were featured, I think, this week. But you know, in spite of I'm guilty. I'm not familiar with this artist. I'm guessing that he's French by his name. I'm not 100% sure, but I actually preferred this to the Pope and the Bertram, and I mean, they were heavy hitting illustrators in this exhibit, and I think this is one of the best pieces that was there.
Well, look, Larry recently added a piece by them as well. I wasn't familiar with them either, so that's why I want to do a quick search here myself. Well, seems decently collected here.
There's some LODK there, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, what do we got? 70 pieces of art on CAF by them. So,
Ruben seemed to know who he was.
Yes, he did. All right. Well, a new artist we've both sort of discovered here, Jean-Jacques. Huh. All right. No, but a good pick, definitely.
Thank you.
Let's see, 4 more here to go. This one was a fun one by Jurgens and Burchett from what do we got? Justice League of America 69, and and it's in Dinesh's collection. I didn't realize that. All right, congratulations, Dinesh.
I picked this honestly solely for that middle bottom panel where Bloodwind is throwing a haymaker at Doomsday. And then the reaction shot in the next panel is, okay, yeah, we're all in trouble. So this was going on, this story, and I'll further date myself. This storyline was going on when I worked in a comic book store. So, I mean, it was the biggest thing, and, yada, yada, yada. But I really liked this ancillary stuff that they did outside the main Superman books. So I've been a huge Justice League fan essentially my whole life. And seeing Doomsday, quite literally walk through this iteration of the Justice League was a really effective tool in building up how dangerous and how indestructible the character was. And that middle panel there that you're highlighting right now, so cool.
Yeah, no, I didn't read Death of Superman when it came out, but I read it a few years after that. But yeah, this was a really I think a really good moment, and I love that as well. And like you said, he's shocked that
he's shocked. Yeah,
not even move. He's talking the talk in the panel on the left, and then nothing happens. So yeah, like you said, it's a good prelude to knowing that they're dealing with somebody who's a bit more powerful than even Superman can handle. But yeah, no, very, very cool page, and see another nostalgia pick. So that's good. So I got that. Let's see, I've highlighted and liked that one. Oh, and Dinesh usually does throw in the color pieces. That's always nice. I do like that one.
It's also kind of the cover scene, so that's what's
cool. That's true. All right, so now we've got a Ryan Stegman, and who's the owner of this one? Oh, Simon K. All right. Wow.
Simon posted some just baller. I mean, absolutely like crazy stuff the last couple of weeks. He's doing well. I picked this piece, believe it or not, because it reminded me so much of Quesada Nolan era Azrael. So huge soft spot for that series. So I guess, again, kind of a nostalgia pick. This piece has artistic merit for days, certainly. But I don't think I've ever looked at Stegman and Mayer together. And maybe it's the subject. Maybe they deliberately chose to do something differently. But this is a little bit like 10 degrees, 20 degrees different for them, in my opinion. And I think it's like super effective. This is a gorgeous image. And again, really atmospheric, very moody, cool composition, great pose, like, all of the stuff that you want in a cool cover with, like, featuring that singular character.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I mean, I've never seen snow have so much motion to it, but you can tell it's a very windy night, and even the snow's not falling straight. Ruben's giving us a hard time about our accents, though.
They're called comic stores in Illinois and North Dakota
and Ohio.
Yeah, Minnesota, Iowa.
I must. I don't know. I don't think I have that heavy of an accent, Ruben.
I know I do. I take a lot of heat about it.
But very nice pick on this one, and I agree. Moon Knight, it's a great image. I mean, and like,
am I crazy with the? Do you see the Quesada Nolan?
Oh no, I do. Yeah,
like kind of the tick marks on some of the blacks.
Yeah. No, I definitely see it. It's no, I wasn't when I first saw this. I didn't look at who the artist was, and I was really not sure at first. I'm like, who is this? So it wasn't really what I was thinking either. Stegman and Mayer, but no. Beautiful piece, and I'm gonna have to leave this tab open. I really wasn't paying attention to what Simon was posting this week, but I will check out the other pieces he's added. There. And what do we got here? We have a Buscema and Alcala Savage Sword of Conan page.
Wow. I think I'm not a Conan historian by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel like people went the extra mile when they knew a story was for Savage Sword versus the Conan Monthly. And this shows that in spades. I love this woodcut style inking. It throws back to Foster or any of those guys who are this, I guess, strip art icons that Buscema certainly looked up to, I'm sure. So this is a master class in like texture. I mean, look, that bottom left panel alone Look at how many different techniques he has packed in there. And you know, it's some of it's quill, some of it's brush. Just incredible. And you know, they don't make them like this anymore. You don't really see this. You really don't see this style utilized anymore. So it's a cool throwback to that that era.
Mm-hmm. No, it's amazing. I really like that lower left-hand panel too, just for that same reason. Just so many different techniques crammed into one thing. And I agree with Ruben. I mean, this is when Alcala inked Buscema on a lot of these. I mean, he was just a great fit for it. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, everything about these pages. I mean, look at all the detail in there. And maybe because knowing it was a black and white,
going to be in black and white.
Yeah,
Marcus made that comment. I think that's apt.
Right. Because normally you wouldn't probably get this much extra detail, on a page, because they know the colors are going to take care of different stuff. But man, thank God that they did these. They did these in black and white, or you wouldn't have this gorgeous work.
The stuff that is so cool to me is that the wood is wood, the stone is stone, the cloth is cloth. I mean, like, that is not easy stuff to do.
Right. I mean, you can tell. I mean, the straw is done. I mean, everything feels right, which is pretty crazy. And Mikhail said the table. I mean, you look at the bowls and plates on there. I mean, everything is done in a different style. You're absolutely right. I mean, the smoke to the Brit to the stonework to everything here. This is an amazing artwork.
And this guy on the parapet here looks like he could have walked out of a Prince Valiant strip.
Yeah. Man. So this is a piece I'd love to have this in my collection, just because as an example. So Lee Harmon, I haven't checked out Lee's CAF gallery in a while, and I'm glad he added it to the archive. That's nice. Thank you for doing that, Lee. Not everybody does that with the published works, but we actually have quite a few artworks added to the archive for those of you who don't know what it is. But yeah,
I use it religiously. Every time I buy a published piece, it goes right in there. My hand of God.
Thank you. I appreciate that, because it's one of those things that not a lot of people even know about. But I appreciate going through it as well, just to see when people add new stuff in there. And I think it's very helpful. Okay, so we've got one more piece here, and we got a Joe Quesada.
It's an actual Quesada, not a Stegman that resembles a Quesada. So here, you have the upshot Batman, right, versus the Federici, high shot Batman. I saw a lot of this on video. I saw him because he did this during Drink and Draw for quite a while. Honestly, he picked at this for quite a while. I really love Joe Quesada. I wish that he did more art. I feel like people have said this about Mark Chiarello, but I think Quesada is also in that, like, he maybe left the art part of the industry too soon, and I think we're all poorer for that having happened. So I love to see him work. Really effective use of, I think this is brush. I'm guessing it's brush pen, because I saw a lot of it being worked on with brush pen. But also cool to just see Quesada work on a DC character again. Whenever I see Jim Lee work on a Marvel character, I'm always like kind of tickled by that.
Yeah, the same feeling. This thing's amazing. But so this was done on a Drink and Draw. I don't watch that show enough. There you go. Oh, hey, cool. He actually got it right there. That's so cool. Yeah, I don't know. I catch that show like once a month, but
I don't watch it nearly. Well, I mean, you have a lot of programming on during the week, so it's not easy to. Yeah, it's competitive in some ways, but typically what he's been doing is penciling on a tablet and then transferring it to a board, and then he'll ink it on the show. Dan Panosian does the same thing quite a bit. It's a fascinating process, and obviously the results are terrific.
No, that's a great one. Huh. Let's see here. So Tom Samo. Huh. I'll leave that open to check out his CAF gallery. I don't think I've looked in it in a while either. Well, Chris, 10 great picks as always.
Thank you.
Let me swap this out, and I will get mine set up in here.
I'm going to be really curious to see what you picked this week, because there were a couple that I thought, oh, Bill's gonna.
I know. Well, I'll tell you, I bet I skipped a ton of the ones that you thought I was going to pick, because I was looking at it and I'm like, Chris would expect me to pick this one. I'm not going to pick it. It really was
a big mind game now.
Yeah, but then I felt bad because I was like, oh, I'm leaving this out. But what are you going to do? Sometimes you got to do that. But it was funny when I was going through the list of things that I really liked. There were lots of things I thought Chris is probably not going to pick this one because he thinks I'm going to pick it. And I'm like, that one's going to get missed this week.
We're both too clever.
Yeah. Well, we're getting used to each other now, and
there you go.
That's why sometimes it wouldn't be bad to be able to have those alt picks, because then I could be like, see, I should just pick this one and that.
Or
one,
you should go back to picking first once in a while. That'd shake it up too.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we should do that, Chris. How about we switch to that? I'll give you my list. Okay. All right. That'll put it on me. All right. Because Larry had a whole bunch of really great stuff, and I was like, you know what? And there were so many of them that were good, and I thought, Chris is going to think that I should have picked that, or anyway. So let's see here. So Michael McIsaac, this is I kind of picked this one for a couple of different reasons. Of course, it's Paul Smith art. And I mean, Paul Smith gets knocked every once in a while because he doesn't get the things done on fast, blah blah blah. But this one, I read the description from Michael, and it was actually purchased through Comic Art Live. I think the last show, and I thought that was pretty cool. We've been talking a lot about Comic Art Live and how people have picked up a lot of cool art from there, and I saw this and I thought, and I read that and I was like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to feature that one, not only because it's Paul Smith and it's in Michael McIsaac's collection, but it's got a tie to the show that I've been putting on, and I think it's great when anybody's picking up any art that's related to something that we're doing through CAF. So just a fun drawing, and who doesn't like a Howard the Duck as Conan kind of figure? So
I can say I've never seen Paul Smith draw Conan or draw Howard the Duck before.
Right. I don't think I had seen that either, but I love it. I really, at first when I saw it, I chuckled. I didn't realize it was Paul Smith, but then I saw it was Paul, and I was like, all right, that's pretty nice. That's a really good drawing. It looks like from 2010. Yeah. Marcus says it looks like Leah Thompson. It does kind of look like Leah Thompson, doesn't it? Yep. I can't disagree with you. Howard the Conqueror. And a personal pizza box size. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, no, I couldn't pass that one up. So thank you, Michael, for posting that one. And I got my like on that one. So here was my Glenn pick. So this was, of course, from Tales of Suspense 59. And there were a couple pages posted. And I have to it wasn't one of my picks. I put Alberto's in as after this, because it was, his piece probably got even more comments. But I really like this one in Glenn's collection. And let me get the like on that, because there's just all action in every single one of these panels, and I just love how fluid it looked. I love Kirby no matter what, but this page is just, I'm just blown away by the intensity of every panel. And his Cap leaping around, he's rolling over the backs of some guys over there to avoid a flamethrower. It's just a great all-around Kirby page. And again, I look at this as, I'd like to think this is in Glenn's permanent collection, because this thing it's a doozy.
Kirby Cap is so acrobatic.
Yeah. It's funny. I didn't even notice him using the flamethrower, and he's cutting the rope on his legs. But yeah, look at this. It's just great.
We're in trouble. His legs are free.
Right.
We're in trouble before, pal.
Yes, Cap has moves like Patrick. That's right, Todd. Exactly. But no, I saw it and I thought, and again, I tend to not feature artwork that dealers post. But again, it's back to, I saw Glenn post a few pieces, and this one just caught my eye. Really, really good Cap page. And while I looked at the Heritage Auction and all those pages from this issue, I didn't really appreciate them as much when I'm kind of looking at them from a pricing standpoint. So when I saw this pop up on CAF, I really took a couple extra minutes to just look it over. But clearly I missed the rope thing. I was just too blown away. I'm looking at Cap and all the stuff he's doing here. So
I I love Chick Stone on Kirby too, because it's so clean, and it's really, it's Chick Stone on Kirby like immediately. There's no question. And this has like, you can see the influence of this stuff on guys like Mike Allred and things like that. And I think that's really not purely, but it's so important that this is Chick Stone for that reason.
Nope. But yeah, congrats to Glenn on 2 good pickups this week that we both chose to feature. And here is the piece that is in Alberto's collection. I wanted to just highlight it because Alberto is a regular in the chat, and I know he was thrilled to death to add this piece to his CAF gallery. And since I didn't pick it and I picked Glenn's over it, I wanted to highlight it because Alberto, you sincerely deserve to get this piece added to your CAF gallery, and I wanted everybody else to enjoy it as well if you didn't get a chance to see it. But yeah, that's truly awesome, and I think you had a really nice. Well, no, I think it must have been on Facebook where he wrote about why Alberto, you got to write your descriptions here too, because I remember on Facebook he had this, never thought I'd be able to own a piece of art from Tales of Suspense 59, and it was really, really nice. And now I'm gonna have to shoot him an email and be like, you got to write that here, not just on Facebook.
Yeah, Ilya made a comment. I was just about to say how Kirby, that guy in the top right panel is. I mean, he could have been like looking at himself in his profile in a mirror there. That dialogue's awesome too. He's a glorified acrobat.
We can handle him easy.
All right, boys. Confident mooks.
This is a great page. Even though it's got Cap on the lower 3 panels, I mean, it's still classic Kirby, and it's beautiful. And I could have easily just featured this one in that Glenn's, but yeah, congrats to Alberto. I mean, it's great when people get to realize their dreams and they find something that's just so important to them. I mean, and we all know Alberto's a huge Cap collector and everything, so this was like a once in a lifetime opportunity with all these pages popping up at the same auction. So yeah, wow.
There's nothing, it's for me in the hobby, there's nothing better than I never thought I would get X,
right? And
you get it. It's
especially in a market like this, right? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he had to move mountains and everything to make that work, but still, I mean, that's still such a thrill. But it comes back to when the opportunity presents itself. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and take the dive into the pool. And he did it. Wow. All right, so here was the piece I did end up featuring. I think Marcus ribbed me about this one in a chat, but I ignored him when he did it. But let me get my like on this one. So this is in Rick W's collection, Jim Aparo, penciling and inks on this Brave and the Bold page. The dialogue was funny, and it's like Batman taking Green Arrow out on the town, but I just kind of love the storytelling in it. I love the interaction between the characters facing different directions. The first panel, perspective changes in the second and third panels are just really, really nice and cinematic. I love the narrow panel with the Batmobile, and heavy text on it. And I really love the last panel. The way it was laid out. I mean, the apparel is just amazing. And this, I mean, I don't even like Batman, and I'd love to as a character, but I'd love to have this page because I mean, just doggone it, it's a beauty. And I've seen a lot of apparel work, but this one just struck me. I mean, I really, really, really like this page, and the layout's great, characters are great.
I always love him on Green Arrow too. He's got such a great take on Green Arrow. Yeah, this era of like DC stuff is so important to so many of us, and it's not just Aparo. It's Jose Luis Garcia Lopez,
sure.
And, those guys, and Dick Giordano, and those guys. But they're in this house style kind of at the time, and they're not they're not interchangeable. You do learn to see the idiosyncrasies of how each guy approaches a problem, or how they their particular, like, oh, he does the ears like this, and those kinds of like little things after you pour over it for a while. But I do think that Aparo is, for whatever reason, I always really like when he draws Green Arrow.
Yeah, see, I'm rereading this, but yeah, it was a fun page. Everything about this was really, really enjoyable. I want you to get familiar with Gotham City, Green Arrow, since the underworld knows I'll be on stage then. I mean, it's just everything about it. The dialogue was great, but yeah, no, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah,
page.
it is a funny premise though, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. That was that made the show thumbnail of the week because of that last panel. So congrats to Rick on that pickup. And I did pick another Kirby. This is one where I told you I picked 2 caps. I had to pick. I just thought this was the craziest page. I mean, I like Royer's inks on this one just because it's so heavy. But I loved, I mean, all these panels. I mean, it's such a contrast to the Chick Stone page, right?
It's trippy.
I mean, lots of lots of good action in here. But it's totally trippy. If you read, reading through the page was just funny. It's like he's made the building come to life practically, and it's I don't know if it's pooping him out there in the first panel, and then it's got an eye and a mouth, and they're freaking out. But yeah, I just really, the thing is, I loved the heavy blacks in this because it's just funny. It's not like there seems to be extra. Why did it it could have been crosshatched. It would have looked so different, but instead I just really love the touches in that, and all the panels, they're just so consistent. And I'm not a Kirby aficionado with the inkers or whatnot, so I don't know if this is like how Royer always inks Kirby, but for effect on this page, it's so nice. The heavy black areas where he's just laying it in there to kind of flesh this whole page out. So I love the layout. I love the 2-1, 2 with the panels. Just everything about this page was killer for me, and I had to pick it.
Yeah, the spot blacks are, they're really blocking the figures. They're kind of like setting the stage, so to speak, in the panels. You're totally right about that. And I think so interestingly, it is such a stark contrast to Chick Stone. I mean, you see how dramatically inkers are capable of affecting Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I have heard, I'm by no means an expert on this either, but one thing I have heard somewhat consistently about Royer over the years is people feel that he is the Kirbyist Kirby inker. So he's the person who altered what he got the least.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, it's a different way of saying if you like Royer's inking, then you probably like, what Kirby put down in the first place.
Right. No, I've heard that too. But yeah. So I couldn't pass this one up because of that reason. And again, like you said, crazy story, and makes me want to go back and read that comic book. But yeah, love this page. So let me see here. Don Emery. Let's check out how long has he been on CAF? So many. It's funny. We must have had a really nice 2018 because a lot of collectors joined in like the 2017, 2018 period that are really still going strong. I mean, when I was talking with James earlier, he reminded me he had joined in 2017. So we had a really great group of people joining the site in that time period, and their collections are still going strong on CAF. So yep, very nice pickup here. And I don't pick Frazetta too often. This is in Matt E's CAF Gallery, Mongol Scout. A very familiar image. I think even when I read through it, it's been used as a frontispiece on some of Frazetta's art books or whatnot. It's just done as a doodle initially, but what man, what a darn great doodle. I mean, everything about this character is is just so well done. I mean, everything you'd want out of a Frazetta. I mean, a strong character. You got a spear. In that volcano or whatever that might be in the background. I mean, it's just great composition, and
anatomy's perfect.
Anatomy's perfect. It's from 1971 by Frazetta. It's such a beautiful piece and so simple. I mean, just kills me. I'd love to own something like this, but probably never will. But man, I would be proud to have this thing. This would be like, to me, this, how much of a fantasy artist fan I am. I mean, this would be like probably one of my most cherished pieces in my collection if I ever got the chance to own something like that.
And go right in the bathroom.
Exactly. If I were more like Jordan, but that's I'm just reading it. Oh, there you go. Rich says it was from one of the Ballantine books, I think. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there were a couple. Weren't there weren't there a series of those Ballantine books for Frazetta? I think there were 4 or 6 of them, because I remember I got those when I was like 16 years old, and but just always blown away by Frazetta's work. And yeah, this is a great one. And there's definitely not enough Frazetta on CAF, I can tell you that.
Yeah, well, there's not enough Frazetta in existence.
True. Jeff Moy says he has a nice Hughes in his bathroom. Okay, Rich, and you know what? I think you're right. They had 4 originally, and then okay, there we go, and added a 5th very late. Right, I think that even the 5th one had a different cover. It didn't really match the first 4 in the series, but I think I've still got those packed away in a box somewhere. But all right, Rich is the man on that. All right, so this one is actually in Fish's CAF gallery. Fish, you made the list again. A What If page by Buckler and Sam De La Rosa. So, you know, in a way, I remember reading this one, so you could say it's a nostalgic pick, but again, I just liked the panel layout on this one. I mean, it's a what if story as well, and so I was always fond of those. But this is a, you know, what if the X-Men didn't beat what Krakatoa or whatever that creature was. I always forget the name, but yeah, just a fun page. I mean, for me, this is a fun nostalgic pick. So
this is Buckler.
This yes, it was, and it was
who's the anchor? Does it say?
Sam De La Rosa. Yep.
Huh. That Professor X face looks so much like Steve Lytle to me.
It does, doesn't it? That's interesting. But yeah, man, Fish, you know, you don't pick up any average art, do you? What's the deal with that, man? But I love this one. And you get the whole X-Men team in it. You know, it's like, I don't even care if it's a what if. I mean, at the end of the day, you get the original reintroduced group. I mean, you got Wolvie and Banshee and everybody, Thunderbird on this great page from a fun story too, as I recall. Except for the fact that it looks like all the X-Men are dead.
They all died. Kind of a downer, Marvel.
Yeah. Curved corner. It's just funny seeing the notes in there. But at any rate, I really like the page, and Fish, you know, congratulations as always for a really nice addition to your CAF gallery. It's not cosmic though. I'll just say that. I know that you're branching out now. Space Marvel. Steve Nam says, I meant we're sick of you, Fish. Anyway. But no, this is great. But congratulations. I don't know if am I following your CAF? Look, I'm going to correct that right now, Fish. Look, you're now in my watch gallery list. Ta-da! I've gotten it. Colin's in my watch. So you've joined Colin and Mickey and Glenn and Mike and ML now. All right. Righted that wrong.
The irony is that knowing what I know about Fish, he probably really enjoyed being cussed out by Steven.
Probably did.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so another DC pick for me. I know what was going on with me while I was going through this, but you know, this is Gil Kane, and you know, if you like Gil Kane, this is a really good example of Gil Kane's work. And you know, we highlight, go in a little bit more. I mean, I don't know if the page is as yellow as this in person, but just another great image by Gil Kane. I mean, everything about it is just, I like the layout, his line work. I mean, you know, again, it's everything about the piece screams Gil, and this is just a really nice thing. And I don't even remember what the heck was it from though. Oh, Best of DC 44 cover. Oh, he even included the color piece. A little small, but. What do you think, Chris?
I love Gil Kane, mostly because of his contributions to Green Lantern, but you know, I do prefer him on. I know a lot of Marvel fans love him too, but yeah, he's a DC artist, and I guess in my mind, so it's cool to see him working on DC characters. And I love the Legion, 2 of my favorite Legionnaires on this piece. So Sunboy and Ultra Boy there on the left side. This is tremendous.
Yeah, and Rich says not enough up the nose poses in this one, but you know, yes, it is missing that a little bit.
It takes a lot of nostril heat, that guy.
But you know, Mickey keeps posting great stuff all the time, and that's why I follow his CAF, because it's always something unique, and he has so much art. He's like Larry now. Like Larry's posting great stuff pretty much every single day.
Yeah,
So
I didn't pick. I did want to pick this. I didn't pick it because it was Mickey, and I you know, just because it's like Mickey can't be on every week.
I know, and I had to do it, but that's why I didn't pick Larry this week, because Larry can't be
Yeah.
on every week. So because yeah, I think Larry had like three home runs, I believe, this week, and I was like,
Yeah.
I think I'd featured Larry twice in the last 2 weeks, so I was like, can't do it.
So
but
glad you picked this.
yeah, I was surprised you didn't pick this one, but Alex Maleev cover, let's see, Han Solo Chewbacca issue #1, and Edward N's CAF collection. Just, I've been looking, doing the May the 4th episode of Dueling Dealers for next week. I have been looking at so much Star Wars, either artworks or set photos and things. And then I saw this on CAF, and I was like, oh, that's just so amazing. And, it just strikes everything, because I've been looking, I won't give you any spoilers, but, you can imagine some of what you see here is going to be seen in that episode. So we just, I just love this artwork. And I mean, I don't think, I've featured stuff by Alex before, but this is just a really, really gorgeous painting. Did it say even what the size is on this one? I'm just curious. Who's the owner? Edward, and I'm gonna have to email him and find out. But
I have to imagine it's sizable.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. It was gonna be bigger than 11 by 17, but yeah, it's
There's
just
a
gorgeous.
pretty high level of detail in that foreground stuff, and it's little.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Favorite. Sorry, just reading through the chat. But yes, this is a great one. Love it, and happy to see it on CAF, especially with the May the 4th stuff coming up. I know Nick said he's doing some May the 4th artwork as well tomorrow. Let's see.
Alex Maleev, I guess I've heard, is not normally somebody I associate with likenesses.
Mm-hmm.
So great likeness on top of all of it.
Sorry, just making sure I didn't miss anything. All right, so nope, I completely agree with you. So I picked this Vicente Alcazar piece just because, kind of like the black and white piece that you had picked out. I just really liked the odd composition on it, and it was just reminds me of for me like the late 70s of picking up Marvel magazines and whatnot. So this is Satana, and he included a picture of the cover in it as well. But as far as the graph, the artwork goes, I just really thought it was cool, and for me, nostalgic from a period of when Marvel was putting these magazines out. I because of the size of them, I tended to like gravitate and buy almost all of them. Even I'd skip buying comics those weeks when there was a cool book there with covered by Jesco or whatever, and I just I really liked them a lot. And so whenever I see the pages from those, I tend to just stare at them a bit more, and I really like it. So this piece, I'm not going to speak to anything about it artistically other than I just had to pick it because I just love this time period for Marvel, and I love the magazines.
So this does predate me a little bit, but do you know, was the work that was done for the magazine format, is the original a different size?
That I don't know. It's because it's funny. I have actually never, as often as I've done bin dives over at Berkey's, I don't think I've ever seen any of those Marvel magazine pages out that he's even had. Even Hulk pages. You'd think that those might be a little bit,
like rampaging or.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think I've ever seen a page from a Marvel magazine.
Somebody
I have that.
In the chat will tell us. There's got to be somebody that's got some of this.
Yeah. Because I got that Cockrum character stuff from Marvel Premiere, but it's on a board, so it was because how it was used. So it's not even the right page size. And Jeff says usually the magazine size should be larger. I mean, I would assume.
Yeah, I would think because the ratio is different, and so the reproduction size is going to be a little bit different. Yeah, Satana's cool. She's kind of like the prototype bad girl, like pre-bad girl. So yeah, cool subject matter for sure. And they did you know, the illustration in these magazines is just different. It's not what was being done in comics, and clearly that's, you know, that's deliberate. So
Right. And I've seen a lot of you know, and I've seen a lot of Vampirella painted interiors, and they are typically on, you know, a little bit larger board, probably like 12 by 18 or so. So maybe these are about the same. And Marcus says larger than Cosmic Odyssey. That is, well, is that true? Wasn't Cosmic Odyssey twice up some of those pages? All right, moving right along. Okay, and this is in Steve Creozier's CAF gallery, and Steve's been a longtime member of the site, never premium, but I love his CAF gallery. He's got an amazing collection, and he's been a member since 2007. So lots. If you ever get a chance, check out Steve's CAF because he's got a lot.
I'm glad you said his name, because I've been like on the fence about, like, if I pick this guy's art, how do I say
I could be wrong. You know, Ruben would correct me. I said Creozier. I have no idea.
Sounds right. I mean, based on how it's spelled.
Right. Hey, I'll take a chance. I let you take the chances on the artist names, though, Chris. I'll take the collectors. You take the artists.
Fair.
All right, so one more piece. This is from a Duke Fleed's CAF gallery, Don Simpson, Megaton Man from 1985 cover. And I'll be honest, you know, this is I never read any of these. I can tell you that. But the thing I always appreciated the characterizations in these. You know, when I'd see this stuff, I would think, you know, Marie Severin, not Brandeck kind of approaches to the figures and everything, and I always got a chuckle out of the way these pages are put together. I mean, hey, isn't that Spider-Man back there? You know, I mean,
there's bricks too,
and there's lots of bricks. I mean, shoot, it kind of looks like a you know, it could be a John Byrne background in there, the way he would draw cityscapes and whatnot. But again, just a total fun image, and I know that Duke has a very you know, he likes Gru obviously too, so he has kind of
he's eclectic.
He's got an eclectic style, kind of a humorous side to the artworks that he likes to pick. And so I saw this one, and I mean, look at it, he's tiptoeing his hand around, you know, the chick, and so yeah, just it was just so a fun image. And how often am I going to see something by Simpson that, you know, that I could actually ever feature again? I mean, it's not like, I bet you if we were to look on CAF, there probably isn't a lot of art on there from this title. So, you know, this was an opportunity to feature something that I don't think we're going to see too often. And again, you know what, you look at the artwork in detail. I mean, it's nicely done. I mean, I like the tiny, you know, ink work here in the figures. I mean, it's really, really well done at the end of the day.
Yeah, the inking's tremendous. And I mean, it's you know, it's great cartooning. To be able to exaggerate anatomy like that, you have to have such an incredible understanding of normal anatomy in the first place. So yeah, this gets a ton of respect from me. Even I really love what he's got going on with his chin, how it's all like striated.
Yes. Yeah, I was almost gonna say that's Anthony's chin, but it's even bigger than Anthony's chin. Oh, and Rick Welch says Crozier. All right, well then I butchered it.
Okay. Yeah, you were close.
Well, it's got an I in it. Why would the I be silent? How
silent? You know,
I'm learning something about names every single show I do. Yeah, like Rick says there, let your fingers do the walking. But yeah, like you said, it's it is a very well done piece. You have to know anatomy to kind of do something that goofy, but yeah, really, really nice. And I'm sure that Duke is a happy man to be adding this to his CAF.
He's added a lot of cool stuff lately too.
That's true. And Duke usually has a nice, I didn't read his description on this one, but let's see. I'd been looking for a Megaton Man cover ever since seeing the cover on Moist Site a couple years back. As such, it was a pleasant surprise to find his creator right here on CAF for all these years, still holding the art. Feel free to reach out to him if you ever have. I didn't even know that. You know, and it's funny. I had somebody contact me about saying, "Hey, I bought something from this creator on CAF, and I haven't got the art yet," kind of thing. And I didn't even know that creator was on CAF. I won't mention who it was, but it's surprising how many CAF galleries are out there that you just don't you miss. I mean, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that Simpson had a CAF gallery at all. So, but now I know. See, that's so cool.
Yeah, when I posted a commission from Alvaro Martinez Bueno in my CAF gallery a while ago, and he commented on it. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, that's
Again,
cool.
I didn't know he was on CAF.
Nope. Yeah, and there was a couple other artists I saw doing that too. But it was funny. I actually got an email from an artist this morning that not known artist at all, that said I don't think understood CAF, and asked me, if I would remove a piece of art from the site because they were ashamed of it. It was like from 4 or 5
Oh,
years ago. They're like, my talent's so different. Every time I Google my name, this page comes up first.
wow. Oof.
And so I emailed him back, and I said, well, yeah, well, I said, first, we didn't post it. It's owned by a collector. They're posting it because they love it. And
Mhm.
and it really didn't even look that bad. It was like a sketch cover or something. And I said, so you can email the owner if you like to ask them to remove it. I said, but if it was me, I'd probably tell you, I think I really like it and I want to show it off, and I don't think I would turn it off. I guess if you got really,
I'd say trade me for something that you think is
yeah,
better.
there you go. There you go. That would be the approach to it, because I looked at it and I'm like, I don't know what the guy doesn't like about it. I mean, it was obviously a quick sketch cover drawing, but at the end of the day, it didn't look bad. I mean, if you're
No.
looking for something that, but you know what I said? I think I actually included an extra sentence saying, I would think that most even, published artists would, not want to see certain works from their past shown. But at the end of the day, once it's owned by
You made
somebody,
it.
yeah, I said, once you sell it to somebody, you kind of have to let them make the decision on whether or not to show it. But
Mhm.
he didn't reply. So I don't know if he was mad or if it made a difference, but
Not the
yeah, that's
answer he
that. I haven't
wanted.
gotten an email like that in a long time.
Hmm.
Alex Ross. No, it wasn't Alex Ross. But yeah, that was a funny one. Need a good search for CAF gallery owners. Hey, Mickey, I can tell you that in my wish list of things for changes on CAF and a redesign that we do hope to do, one of the things that I really want to add is basically advanced search in the search box itself, because so many sites today have a cool way, like as part of the search box, you can pick, well, what do you want to search? Do you want to just search
Yeah.
art for sale, or do you want to search collectors? And I want to be able to modify the search box to allow you to search just the art, or just collectors, art for sale, artists, and then take you over to the artist database, those sorts of things, so that you can do pretty much everything from one search versus having to go all over the place and pick different ways to look for things. So that is one of the things higher. And I get asked about collector searches all the time. People really are like, CAF is too big, it takes too long to scroll through the names anymore. And
The username thing is kind of hard too. Like
mhm,
it's Dave F. Okay, well, who's Dave F? Is
right.
it Dave Falcon? Who, like, yeah.
Yep. Nope. I completely agree. And that would be a thing that I would even, if we could, if I had to wait till the end of the year to do the redesign or whatever, that would be something that I'd really want Maureen to even add before then, because I use it on a couple of the sites that I use for the video editing, because they'll want, like, if you want to pick, do you want to search photos or video clips or 3D objects or graphics? And it's so easy. I mean, it's, to make that search, and I come to CAF and it's like, oh my God, I got to go over to here and I got to go over to there. And
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I got to have it all in one darn search. So yeah, no, it's high on my list of things that I'd like to tackle.
That's a good aspiration. I agree with that one for sure.
And Tim Dury says, I'm tired of NFS items having the for sale flag. One of these days, what I need to do for people is, because people get, because of the way we handle art for sale, it's, it's not at the piece level, it's at the room level. I think people sometimes forget when they make a room for sale that they have stuff in it that, that isn't for sale, or they've forgotten that it's for sale, and then they start adding things that aren't for sale in it. So it wouldn't be
Whenever
a
I
bad.
see that, I'm like, is this a game? Like, is this guy playing coy? Like, oh, it's for sale, but I'm not gonna put, like, I always assume it's a tactic.
It could be. I've always felt it was just people not being aware, or, because they should be able to be aware. Because when you're on your main gallery management page, it says if it's a for sale room right there. So if you're going into it to add art, you already should know that the room is set to that flag. But I just always felt like people just don't know what they're not paying enough attention. But what I've always felt we needed to do was periodically email each person who has art in the classifieds and saying, hey, here's a list of everything that you're actually
publicizing is for sale, and maybe, please scan it, and if anything shouldn't be listed for sale, get rid of it.
Yeah, do we even still own it?
Right. Well, that's true too. But you think if it was in their classifieds that they've done it, but and Tim says there's a couple collectors that do it all the time. I don't know why. So everybody thinks it's a nefarious reason. It's a more fishing for for potential stuff, but they can also turn you down when you ask. Yes, Rich, that's very true. But it could be a tactic. You're right. Some people would do that. I agree. People who are just out there fishing for a possible sale might do that. I mean, that just, to me,
but then when you layer in the stuff that really is for sale,
right,
it just makes it alone. And then like you have Kirk Dillbeck, who's got both.
Correct.
It's like, okay, wait, is this his, or is it part of Three Wishes, or yeah.
Yep. Nick says, I think they do it for the views. That might be true as well. Yeah. Well, I think we can do a better job of going back and at least telling people we're paying attention, that you're doing, that these things are out there, and we'd like to make sure of it. And if I remind them of those things, maybe maybe some people would stop doing that. But again, those are things that we need to do a better job of, for sure. So I appreciate that mention on that, Tim. So just another thing to add to my list of things to think about and how to do better at. And we've hit the 2.5 hour mark, Chris.
Again.
I don't know how we do it. I feel like we're talking pretty quick, but it still takes time to get through to this point. But as always, thank you. I know you're gonna have the week off next week, Chris. So if I'd prefer that you don't open that letter if you get it, but let me know that you got it, because now I'm getting a little worried. I wouldn't have thought it was going to take 4 days to get to you. So
let me know about Larry too. If you need me, just give me a shout.
I will. I'm going to email Larry after the show, because you're right. I should have probably, because it's this week. He should be looking at CAF all week, and I didn't even think to do that. So, all right. Well, thank you as always, Chris, and have a great birthday. Maybe we'll see you next week. Maybe not.
All right. Night, everybody.
See ya. All right. Well, there you go. We've reached the end of another fantastic CAF update, number 92, I believe. So I appreciate everybody for hanging out with me this long. And again, for all the comments, when we're doing these shows, hey, if there's things that you don't like about CAF and things that you think people are doing wrong or whatnot, hey, I hit me up with it during the show. I mean, this is a good time to do it, because it gives us the opportunity to talk about it as a group. So when things like that are mentioned, I mean, I see that too. And I always just felt it was people who are just not aware of what they're doing. But I know there's lots of people who play games. So don't forget that Nick's show is tomorrow from 7 to 8 p.m. The Original Art Experience on the EXP, and it's always a fun show. Nick is a great host, and I think, Nick, I got to be on your show again sometime soon. But with my move to Florida, we might want to, and with Comic Art Live coming up, maybe we should plan on early June getting me back on the show. I'd love to do it again. But all right, everybody, I'm calling it a night, and gosh, you're not going to see me till next Monday, but enjoy your weekend, and we will be talking again real soon. So take care. See you again soon.